It doesn't want to work. Ah, there we go. Welcome back. Hopefully most of that got cut off. We return once again to the Saturday Ironheart Merchant Company, Session 56, Hunger's Curse. But before we get to that, first, a quick announcement. One, Melvin isn't with us, as per usual, and we do not expect Melvin to be joining back too often in the future. And a second, for those fans of Sunday's session, understand it will not be shown as of tomorrow, so we will not be having a session. We thank you all for your patience, and now we get back to Saturday's dismay. Last time, though, we left off, the party had started a session after sticking around town for a few days, waiting for some letters to be sent out and waiting for a letter to be passed on to Syndra. As the party returned back with Rollman joining us once again, quickly the party decided, after taking a look through the missions that James had gathered from the tavern inside the town of Rune's Hold, that they would find themselves going after a group of salamanders in the hopes of gaining an ever-burning forge. With that, the party found themselves flying off for a few months. Ooh, excuse the slight lunch burps in the background. As the party headed off to find the grounds of these salamanders, not learning as much as they could in the meantime as they made their way. Thankfully, as the party arrived, quite quickly identifying the large springs with the house in the center of it, the party was quite curious about the springs and sent Syndra forward to figure out what the material was. With Rollman and James not far behind, but quickly backing off once movement was spotted within the waters, the Syndra found herself quickly attacked by a few noble salamanders, one which was even huge in comparison. While Rollman and James found themselves surrounded and attacked by almost like an ambush of flame brother salamanders and a single average salamander, the party fought bravely, the party fought longingly, and the party succeeded in taking down most of the salamanders before they could burn the party to death. Mostly burn James. I don't think the Rollman or Syndra took all that much damage, but they can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Oh,
3 times.
I hear no
3.
corrections, so I assume they came out better off than James did. But as the party finished up dealing with these creatures and began to make friends with one of the Flame Brothers and one of the, I believe it was, one of the large noble salamanders, immediately as they were looking about, they found themselves ambushed by a group of 4 brightly red colored and striped tigers that quite quickly the party surmised were not the creatures they were looking for. As we return back from last time, we return to the day of 65,007, the month of the Darkened Moon, and the 12th day itself. Don't worry, it's not the 65,007th day. That would be an impressive feat in its own right. But we return once more in the month of February as the cold wind continues to blow, the storm overhead continuing to billow with snow, as you lot find yourselves face to face with what looks to be 4 of these large red tigers dripping with what looks to be some sort of liquid from their mouths. Not quite saliva, as you see the strange red foaminess of it kind of as it pools underneath their mouths. Each of the 4 seem to be staring at you lot hungrily. What would you like to do?
Do they have a disease?
I'd like to roll a heal check.
Give me a heal check.
Oh, you want to do it?
Rapid.
All right.
Rabid dogs.
Check my heal. Yeah, it is that. Okay.
Are each of these 4 the same, by the way?
They look to be, yes, all roughly about the same size and everything.
23?
Perfecto. Yes, you recognize this as a disease called the Crimson Death. A somewhat of a side variation of another disease that you had been recently told about. The Crimson Death itself is known to bleed those who are infected with it to death before they transform into a creature of sorts. Many have described these creatures as large-looking elementals of blood that seem to spread the disease. These
Oh,
tigers seem to kind of be foaming at the mouth as they look over at you, though.
they have the Crimson Death.
I don't think I can tame them if they're actively dying to a disease.
Should we put them out of their misery? Wait, a question. With
Mm-hmm.
that heal check, would I know if they're killed before their blood is drained? Would they still try to start turning?
Yes, they will still turn.
Is there a time frame for how long it takes? Is it immediate, or does it like take? Is it like a Bodak, 24 hours?
With the 23, it is immediate. However, it is a percentile chance. There is not a guarantee that you will outright turn.
Warning that when we kill them, they might become blood elementals that spread that disease.
Can we kill the elemental that they become? Or prevent them from turning?
I
As you
am
look,
unsure.
as you look over at James asking this, with the heal check, James, you're not sure at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure about either of those two options.
Okay. Why? Can I glean why they haven't attacked us yet?
Yeah, give me either a survival check. Or a... Oh, actually, I will take that or sense motive. Sorry.
I'll do sense motive.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. 27.
27. As you look on at the creatures for a moment, they are also, as you kind of notice, quite panting, as if these creatures seemingly have exerted themselves an immense amount. Kind of gathering based on what you saw with these salamanders. It's almost as if these creatures have probably been being hunted for quite a while. Something's probably coming this direction, as you guesstimate.
It's not what we have to worry about. These wolves are tired. They've been chased. We don't want to figure out what they've been chased by. Can
Tigers.
I tell what direction these creatures came from, or can't really tell?
It's seemingly from the south is this direction they've been kind of circling towards you, so best guess.
Okay. And what direction is our ship?
Unfortunately, the same direction.
Oh, we've probably been that way.
Sorry.
Well, we should probably start either killing or leaving, one of the two.
I'll lead the way and just... I'll slowly move south, watching them and see what they do.
Okay. As you take a step forward almost immediately, let me see something. Okay. Actually, yeah, do that. They begin to lay towards the snow and almost seemingly begin to camouflage into it as they dissipate. As you kind of take a cautious step forward, you can still hear the light growling coming from the creatures, but they don't seem to act immediately.
Interesting. Does this seem like invisibility, or they just stealth?
From what you can tell, they didn't cast any spells, and you didn't, and neither James nor Syndra seem to have reacted. I will note the two salamanders are keeping a good distance back, about 5 feet back from you lot, as to keep away from these tigers.
It's weird. I'll take another step forward, ready to retaliate if anyone hits me.
All right. So you take another step forward, kind of looking about. Snow kind of crinkling under your feet as it seems almost quiet enough to drop a pin. The creatures seem to get louder as they growl a bit more. You can feel the intensity of these creatures seemingly getting worse as some of the spittles of them kind of comes flying past you, landing on the ground and sizzling slightly as it does.
Okay. I'll take another confident step forward and growl back, trying to be as intimidating as possible.
Give me an intimidation. Rollman's doing the old dad technique, and the dog growls at him. He's just gonna get in its face and growl back at it. Tell what's who's in charge.
21.
21. The tigers almost immediately will get up and begin lunging towards you. Let's roll some initiatives, gentlemen.
Okey-dokey.
Salamanders are going to stay back for a moment, as they do not want to fight the tigers unnecessarily. Alright, let's see what we got.
As they lunge, I go into a frenzy, so my dex and strength go up.
Perfect. Fantastic. God damn it, James. Alright, 26. Jesus Christ, Rollman. I thought I was cool because I rolled a fucking 21, and then these two do this. Alright, Syndra, what about yourself? Oh, did we lose Syndra?
After the Syndra.
Have we lost a Syndra?
Syndra is the muted.
They have been muted. We might need to take a quick commercial break, it looks like. Yeah, alright, I'll assume so. So we'll take a quick second, we'll be right back. Okay, with Syndra at a 19, appreciate that. Fantastic. Alright, as the initiative kicks off, the creatures seemingly all surrounding Rollman within a 5 to 10 foot radius nearby on either side. The creatures seem to kind of stand up from their hidden position, growling, showing their fangs as the red mist kind of drips and explodes out of their mouths as they look on at you, Rollman. As we go to the top of the initiative, you are up first.
Okay. How far away are they? They're 5 feet away, you said?
The first
Or
2
10
are
feet?
within 5 feet, and the other 2 are 10 feet.
Okay.
You got one on either side of you, and then another one on either side of them, so.
I will... Okay. I will attack the one within 5 feet and do a full round action against him.
Alright, let's see what you go.
I'll fuck his shit up.
Oh, shit! And then that's when Rollman couldn't roll above a 2 all day.
Hey, don't curse me.
You have been cursed, good
32.
sir. Holy crap, I said 2, not 32. Jesus Christ. That is.
Okay.
You decided your request was a little bit of a low ball.
Alright. 30, that hits.
Okay.
Bro, you have to roll a nat 1 to miss.
Why'd you say that, man?
Thank you,
What's wrong with
thank you. I give that nat 1, and you do miss.
Why'd you do that? I'm good.
This is bullcrap.
Why'd
He
you do that,
sees the
man?
future.
It's fucked up.
I do, and that's the problem. Trust
18?
me. 18, that hits.
Oh, okay, so 3 hits.
Yep.
These are all on the same thing.
Yep, the same tiger. Yep, I got you.
Yeah.
No, trust me. No, I know I see the future. I made the joke about, like, aliens invading us, and the next day I hear a news article, oh, we discovered the perfect planet that has life, the beginning of life on it, as we were talking about the other day. And it's like, wait a minute, no, not again. I've seen this one.
98 plus
seen this movie, and that spaceship didn't come back.
Yeah, I don't like being the prophetic guy with dreams, because you know what happens? That person always goes crazy. Holy crap!
87 points of damage.
As you slash and tear into the creature, leaving it with single-digit HP as it cutting into it with your Kalmos and your long sword. The blades like a whirl as they tear and fur goes flying, bits of red going everywhere. And Rollman, I have bad news. Since you hit 3 times, I need 3 separate fortitude saves.
Okay.
Because I assume the Kalmos and the sword are both slashing damage.
They are.
Yeah, so fortitude saves, please.
Okay. 22.
22 succeeds.
Not 20.
Succeeds.
And 20.
Barely succeeds.
Okay.
Alright, you are fine. As you tear into the creature, feeling the blood kind of landing on your skin as it slightly burns and sizzles, as you kind of wipe it away quickly, feeling even the metal that it seems to touch seems to start to warm up slightly from the bits of blood as it dribbles away. You're left with almost this nasty smell of a mix of oil and wet, like gym socks, in the air as it kind of catches your scent. The tiger now heavily coughing up blood as you damage it, and because it's below half HP, say it with me now, everyone. Fortitude saves across the board. Let's go, except for Rollman, who already did his. Nope, this will be just Cinder and James, as well as the 2 salamanders.
You said this is a disease?
Correct.
I'm immune.
Lucky.
And the amulet of health that you gave me, that only makes me immune to poisons, right?
There's a separate amulet for disease.
Yep. Of course!
Well, you know, the con-heavy dwarf is James, who's from here. Not expecting this exotic
20
disease.
For... Wait, that might be a 20. I gotta double check something on my sheet.
23 and 27, effectively, for the smaller and bigger salamander.
This guy's a good fortitude.
Alright, perfect. Damn.
No, that's only against poisons.
Okay.
Turns out they're fortitude heavy creatures.
James, immediately, nothing seems to happen other than you get a slight cough as you breathe in the scent of the blood and feel your nose kind of begin to burn and stuff up, and your throat begin to immediately dry and start to hurt as you start coughing and seeing bits of your own blood coming out.
Damn it.
Alright, Rollman, that's a full round action. Anything else?
I will activate my armor Imperial effect, so that's for the whole round. I have a plus 4 to saves.
Okay. Perfect.
For -4 to AC.
Okay. Alright, as you take your stance, preparing yourself, preparing to take the hits as needed, as you watch on at the creatures after seeing James getting weary and getting sicker. Alright, as we jump over to James, you're up.
Well... I'm just going to burn them.
Let it be known, people, if your child sneezes on James, he will burn your house down.
Damn. They just sneezed, man. That's all they did.
And this is a dense touch, so +6.
It's even worse. It just bled on him. Oh my god. My man. That's impressive. So 17 hits. Oh, there's that nat 20. Your party seems like it's getting purified. So the first one does hit.
Fire. Hopefully fire
Double check
damage.
my scorching ray damage real quick.
Hey James, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is scorching ray fire?
Yes,
It deals fire damage, but it is not. It's still fire.
It deals fire damage. Well, so I've got bad news.
I knew
Are
it.
they immune?
I knew it.
as you shoot your rains shooting out of your hands like little fiery hammers as they
It's coming from
slam.
the wand.
Oh, sorry, out of the wand, slamming into the tiger as it does. The tiger looks completely unaffected as the disease seems to give a natural fire immunity.
That's kind. That's cool.
Well, fuck me.
James shouts as he coughs in the air.
Babes, get out of here. Babes, back up.
5. God damn. Luckily, I didn't fire it twice, so
Nope, just fired it once.
instead, lesser orb of cold. Let's go.
That's not backing up, James.
Okay, I'll back up instead, even though I'm already sick.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna keep. You know what? I'm gonna make sure I keep at least 6 feet between us. Gotta quarantine properly, you know.
Okay.
Mm.
As you take a step back, the salamanders kind of eye you with concern as they watch you warily as you back up. Are you using a movement action, or are you just using your bonus movement of the 5 foot
I'm
step?
gonna move back like 10 feet. That way
10
I'm
feet, okay.
behind.
Behind Syndra and Rolaman. Okay. Yeah, as you back up 10 feet, the tigers kind of eye you, but as Rolaman continues to kind of swing his sword over at the creatures, they seem to keep their attention at him almost immediately as they glare. Alright. As
End of my turn.
As James ends his turn, taking a 10-foot step back, the first of the tigers is up, and of course it's the injured one, and he is going to pounce immediately.
You
Alright.
need to post to pounce.
Huh?
You need to move at least 10 feet
I know.
for pouncing.
Yes.
Unless you mean like in the thematic sense.
What
Just
you're
attack
about to
me.
see what I'm going to do.
I'm gonna get jumped on. God damn it.
No, it's jumping on me.
No, don't worry. No, this creature does have a feat I dropped in exchange because I think Alertless is not the greatest feat to use and gave it a different ability effect. As it's going to take a 5-foot step back and then pounce forward from that. If I'm just double checking. Alright, now the question is, can I hit Rolaman? Because this will be really unfortunate as this will take both my actions if I don't. There's a 21 hit, Rolaman?
That is my AC.
Damn! As Rolaman smacks the tiger he injured away with his the side of his long sword, as it slams into it, kind of growling and spitting mist towards him, shoving and repelling the creature back towards where it was. It ends its turn, as it can only do that once. Now I've got 3 more to do this with, so now we are gonna cook with gas. Can any of them hit? Well, that's a 21 and a 29.
The 29 does.
29 hit. Fantastic.
Only because my AC is reduced.
As 2 more jump at you easily as you push them aside. But as the 4th one, with all of its weight, feeling the lot heavier meal of this creature, and not expecting difference in weight, this one seems to throw its full weight down on you. And now... it's going to, that'll be 2 of its attacks. Alright, I'm just double checking. I can make a full okay, so I only have to make it once. Alright, cool. So it's auto damage. Alright, cool. For that.
Auto damage?
Well, no, if I hit with the pounce, it's both attacks.
Oh, you have rend?
Yeah. So that's what I was double checking.
It's extra damage if you hit with both attacks.
Alright, so 2d8 plus 6.
That's pretty cool.
So that is 15 points of slashing damage from the creatures as they tear away at as the last one tears away at your flesh, biting at your arm and taking a chunk of your skin with it.
That's one attack, right?
That's one attack, yeah.
Okay. I respond then.
Let's see what you got.
First, the cloak pokes him.
Don't poke me with that cloak.
My cloak does 6 damage.
Good news, they don't have DR.
Wow. Hey, the cloak's helpful.
The cloak hits, finally. As it pierces the poor creature's paw.
And and 31. Do those both hit?
Yeah, shockingly.
Yeah.
Bigger does not mean higher AC, sadly.
What a shame.
I know, right?
Usually means the inverse.
I know, right?
It does mean that. D8, and let's see. Plus 26. Alright. 55
Ooh!
damage.
Yowza. Alright.
That was a lead.
Okay, as you slash at the creature, cutting into it one after another as the blades cut deep on the creature. Cutting into it, it seems to, as it comes back, kind of limp almost to it as it comes to the ground. Whimpering as it does, it seems to give you a glare as more of the blood comes out. And because you hit it twice, 2 more fortitude saves. And yes, you will have to do this every time you do slashing damage to this creature.
That's cool.
I know, right? It's alright.
26.
Succeeds.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
Oh! That's a nat 1! And that does a fail. Alright. As you begin to feel your nose stuffing up and beginning to cough. And because we're at halfway, Syndra, you're immune. Never mind. Well,
I'm very immune.
now we don't...
When you're from this plane and you're a different species, you get disease immunity.
Now we don't have to roll anymore, as those who can be affected are affected. Alright, as you tear into the creatures, and as it is their turn, as I assume that ends it for Rollman, as for your actions back.
That was their turn.
Well, yes, I know for your return actions. I'm just making
yes.
sure. Okay, perfect. If Rolliman and James would both give me a will save, you're about to learn the other side effect of this disease.
Okie
Is this part of a spell?
Nope.
It's a disease.
It's technically the disease effect, secondary effect.
I'll use an immediate action to make this a concentration check.
Okay. 17 succeeds, just barely.
That's correct.
Oh, wow. Damn. 36 succeeds by a long shot. All right. Neither of you feel the secondary effect this time, as you manage to kind of keep your bodies relaxed, and they do not seem to tense up. You feel the fever getting a lot hotter, and for a moment, you begin to feel a rage boiling up in you, but it seems to subside just as quickly as it arrives. All right.
Oh, I know what we have. We have what that fucking elemental had at one point. Fuck this.
Syndra, as James shouts, "Fuck this," angrily at the tigers, what would you like to do?
Yeah, so I look at my spell remove disease and realize both party members have walked away from me as I look in both directions.
James, who's about 10 feet back from you, and Roman, who's about, say about 10 feet in front of you, because you were at the back last.
I can only cure one of you fuckers because you both walked in different directions.
I was yelled at to walk away.
Yeah, it was a bad decision.
To be fair, Rolliman didn't probably think he was going to get the disease, so because he had to roll in that
I have
one.
really high, fortitude, and I had rolled in that one, so that's fun.
So now I have to choose who I cure.
So cute.
I don't care if James rages. I'm walking up to Rollman.
Probably a wise idea.
I mean,
What the hell is he gonna do if he rages?
if Roman rages, he can actually kill your party. So whereas James is just hard to hit.
I take my little step forward and I remove disease from me.
I'm checking rage right now. I don't think I can rage in heavy armor anyways.
No,
Not
you just can't. You
effectively.
can't move in the heavy armor. Yeah, that's the problem because I think it basically makes it harder because it slows you down. But yeah, as you walk over to Rollman, kind of tapping him with your staff as you do, because I think you still have a staff, right?
Yeah, I act like it's my phone.
Yeah, because I remember that was the whole joke. Yeah, and Rollman, you begin to feel your nose unstuff, your throat becomes less dry, and the cough seems to dissipate as you stop coughing up blood every few seconds.
All right, let's see how long it takes for me to roll that one.
All right, that was a 5-foot step forward, and your spellcasting. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Syndra?
Start walking back to James to cure him next round.
Walk over to James, just keeping an eye on him, looking him in the eyes to see if they're going bloodshot or if there's any signs of him going full rabies. All right.
Then I'm gonna have the two salamanders basically back off out of the
Okay.
probably these, because if these things are immune to fire, there's not a lot they're gonna do to help in this fight.
So simply keep away, or try to stay away as best as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. They will back up their full distance, which I think is 45 feet. Let me double check that. I think the small one has a distance of... Oh no, it's only 20 feet. Wow. Wow. Salamanders are wobblers. Yep.
They're not. Yeah.
All right. As they back away the 20 feet and then do another, they kind of go back over towards the pond and begin to sit down next to it, watching as they kind of begin to bury themselves in the snow. All right. So they end their turn at the top of the initiative. We're going to do a quick listen check for something.
A thing that chased them, perhaps.
Perhaps.
I just want to say, I can only remove these so many times. Please don't catch it too many times.
I'll do what I can, man.
Backing off even further to try and get out of the range of the blood mist.
You did. You're out of the range of the blood mist.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Stop running away from me, goddammit.
Okay.
Wheezy.
All right. As the sounds from over towards the same direction your ship is in begin to come up, you begin to hear the sounds of something much larger making a similarly growling sound as the tiger. As you watch on, though nothing coming into view through the tree line. Rolliman is unimpressed with these creatures at this point. He is done with it. All right. Rolliman, as we speak, you are up.
Okay. Seeing as slashing damage is not doing that good. I'd like to switch to a two-handed grip on my fucking full blades, but holding the blade and using it as a club.
All right. Sure, I'll allow it.
Club in time. Also,
I mean, technically, that is one way to wield a sword.
It is.
It is.
I've asked about it before.
I mean, it's the same as if he just put his sheath on and started smacking them around with it. So yeah, I'll give it to you.
Are we doing bludgeoning damage instead?
Yep. And then they'll be basically the same size as a club, so you just gotta look that up. Which I think great clubs are roughly, because I think that your sword's technically... No, your sword's not a great sword, is it? It's a...
No.
It's bigger than a great
So
sword.
it'd just be a club, yeah, is what you're looking at.
Let me look it up real quick.
Which I think is like a D6 at medium. I don't know what it is at huge, so...
It's technically a gargantuan weapon.
Oh, well, fuck yeah, I have no
No,
idea.
you're not enlarged, so it's not.
Oh, my bad. 2d6. For a huge...
Alright, go ahead and
It
roll
stays
that.
huge when you're enlarged, then it gets gargantuan, which is horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's see what you got.
Yeah, give me a second.
Wait, what is that? Rollman, probably. I don't know. Is this a Monster Hunter gif? Oh, yep. Accurate.
I have +3.
That's what... This is from Syndra and James's POV as they watch Rollman in a fight.
You can see Syndra in the bottom right. You can see Syndra.
Huh, interesting.
I mean, I could give him my hammer to fight with.
Man's got the anime thing where they just disappear into sparks of light that can show up for the normal viewer.
Yep. All right. I will target the very injured one. I'm gonna murder that one real quick.
Bonk.
I'm going to use the power attack cheek and take a -3. 17 instead.
Oh no.
26 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Okay.
And you said you're targeting the same one from last time?
Yeah. Actually, I'll see if that kills him first before I roll the second attack. So it's 2d6 plus 6 plus 1d6. All right.
She rolls
Die.
all nat ones. As you chop the creature's head clean off, or rather knock the creature's head clean off with the club, smacking it as you hear the spine give a terrible snapping sound, watching it kind of turn at an awkward angle, thankfully not ripping off and causing more blood to spray as the creature drops with a sickening thud as you kill the first of the 3.
And then I'll target the other one that's injured.
Alright. As Roman turns, swinging with like a baseball bat, ready to go.
31 to hit.
That hits. Man, this is just Roman right now. Coming.
They shall die. 35 damage again.
Whoo! Fucking right on the dot as you Rollman just comes straight down on the head, crushing the skull as it crumbles, the head slamming into the ground, leaving a small dent into the snowy mud as it does, and laying dead. The other 2 completely unfazed and unbothered.
Okay. That is my turn, I'm pretty sure.
Alright. As Roman cast stops panting for a second, looking at the other 2, crazy crazy look in his eyes, as the blade still turned on its side, as he's ready to dent more of these skulls of these poor creatures. Alright. James, I have bad news, my friend. I need another will save.
It has high wisdom.
Yep. James, I'm glad that it would take near a nat 1 for you to fail this check. You succeed, thankfully. Feeling no secondary effect except for the continuous lack of our continuous coughing and a dried throat.
I got cotton mouth. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. And if Syndra wasn't immune to disease, she would have to make the save, but as that's not the case, unfortunately. James, you are up. What would you like to do?
Well, there's one that's still injured.
There's not.
Standing.
There is 2 fully healed. Rollman just did in the other one that was injured.
Well, then...
By caving its skull in.
Yep, I did do that.
Lesser Orb of Cold.
Let's see what you got.
I'll be using both my actions as I'm not moving. Touch AC 15 and 19.
Surprisingly, that 15 just barely hits, but yeah, it hits for the touch AC.
I imagine they are dexterous.
Yeah.
For 29 cold damage.
Unfortunately, James, you do not break DR or their magic or their cold DR that they have. As the creatures do not take any damage from the cold whatsoever, you are 1 point shy of hitting their cold resistant counter.
That's a lot of cold resistance.
They do live in one of the coldest portions of the world, to be fair. So Cinder just watches James with an understanding, sees this, and then there's a fire in Cinder's eyes.
The cold flame is lit as I'm just going to sigh dejectedly because I cannot do anything other than shout, "Roland, let me know if you want me to throw you my hammer."
This club is better than your hammer.
You see, it holds the full blade, spinning it slightly in the air.
This sort of club.
James, an artisan and Master Smith looking at that as both an insult and a compliment at the same time.
It is a beautiful sentence that has me wanting to hit him and thank him at the same time.
Yeah, like great, my sword can do both. Fuck you, it's a sword, goddammit. I use it properly.
Put it in the sheath and beat them, come on.
As James, it's his turn, watching with animosity, a sniffling nose as he kind of tries to blow it out. Still coughing up blood. Yeah, as he kind of coughs miserably, slightly paling as the fever kind of increases. Thankfully, the rage subsiding again as you feel it kind of boiling up from your back.
He got angry.
If James succumbs to the rage, you are just gonna hear the engineer line of "I'm gonna lay you out" as James walks towards Roland.
It's true. The 2 remaining tigers who are going after are going for pounces on Roll 'em in. We're
They're
going to
next
see.
now, though, aren't they?
No, these ones are going or would be back from you still. They were the two that were about 10 feet from you on either side.
Well, then they pounced last turn.
Yes, which with their spring attack feat, they do go back to their original spot. Yep. Because that's the best benefit. That is the only combo for pounce that makes sense in my eye, other than that and rake. Or improved rake. But where was I? I did get the thing the dice wrong on this last time, so unfortunately, we'll just say these two are a little smaller and weaker. Totally. So it wasn't plus 11; it's a plus 6 to hit. That is a 20 to hit Rollman and 8 to hit.
What do you say?
A 20 to hit and an 8.
Both miss.
Both miss. As both of the tigers go jumping at you, slamming into you as they do, bouncing off with ease as you smack them back with the sword, prepared to club them to death as you do so. The tigers seem to growl and kind of wave their claws at you as they get angry and irritated. And that ends both their turns, as those are their full actions each. Alright, up next is Syndra. What do you got?
Well, I've got to cure a James first.
It's true. That is true. James is miserably coughing up blood and staring at the tigers irritably.
So I'll do that first. I'll burn a third level spell slot for that.
You burn in spell slots.
Then we're gonna try something intriguing. You said these creatures were exhausted?
Yes. Well, fatigued technically, but yeah.
Oh, don't worry. This will be fun. I need a fortitude save from one of the tigers.
Ooh, okay. Well, with the disease, that's an unfortunate thing. That's a 7.
So as I cast a piercing cold winter's embrace.
Oh! Uh-huh.
What'd I do?
So first turn, just some cold damage. Second turn, it fatigues them. Third round, it exhausts them.
Oh, that's death.
They're
And when you
already
say
fatigued,
fatigues-
they'll become exhausted, and then they're gonna die.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So go ahead and roll for your cold damage.
Yeah, it's not a lot. But it's
Also,
not what matters.
legitimately, it's a save. God, it's not even a touch, man. That's horrible. 9. All right.
And it will make that save. I have to check if on my turn. At the beginning of my turn, it'll make that save every round.
Okay. Okay.
Grumpy, kill the other one.
And what kind of cold damage is this?
This is the piercing cold to ignore its cold resistance.
Oh, Hoarfrost?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the feat's just called cold.
Got you. Perfect. As you cast the remove disease on James, James's nose kind of beginning to run again, the blood kind of finally sneezing out. As James stops coughing horrendously, turning as you cast your spell, your eyes glimmering a bright blue, as an icy hand kind of grasps out of the snow and grabs onto the tiger, seemingly cracking and breaking as it does. The tiger looks down in shock at the ground for a moment and looks back at Rollman as it growls more loudly and roars, showing its fangs.
Totally did that.
Yep. Hey, listen, this creature has an intelligence of 2, man.
It's pretty smart.
It is an animal.
No.
And
All right.
my turn.
And that ends your
Really
turn,
wish
so
we
you're
could tame
perfect.
the animal.
Not these ones. All right, at the top of the initiative. Let's see, what's the movement speed?
It's running towards us. Whatever this mystery thing is.
Yeah, you just hear the heavy paw prints of some creature seemingly running your direction, coming from the south. Still, no sight of it. Although
Would
all 3 of you,
self-mission
please
to me.
give me search or spot checks to see if you can see anything.
Note to self: have Rad make bear spray.
It's gonna be a bear. What if it's not a bear?
Bear spray is effective on other things. It's just called bear spray because
Ooh, 22.
22.
that's what inspired it. 23.
The actual truth is, it was made by a guy named
Hey.
Charles Bear.
Why'd you beat my spot check? Fucked up. Ninja's good at listening, not
Yeah, no, right?
not spotting.
As you lot look watch in the forest and staring about, it's almost eerie how you don't notice or see anything moving, but you can hear the creatures or multiple creatures almost kind of thumping their way along as heavy paw prints kind of hit the ground heading your direction.
More incoming. Conserve your shit.
Why do you think I'm casting a second level ice spell?
The tiger's nodding understanding when you say conserve your shit.
Oh, look. I understand it.
My shit doesn't work on them, so why? So yeah, I'm gonna conserve. Fucking.
James is very angry.
Chill, James.
As we go back up to the top of the initiative, Rolliman, you are up.
Alright, I'll fuck up the one that's not gonna die to exhaustion.
Okay.
Branching the sword the same way. Gonna club it in the head.
Like a baby seal. Yep.
Yep. Definitely like a baby seal. I'll take a -3 for power attack again.
Cool. Here we go.
21 did.
21 does hit, good sir.
Nice. And then again. 33.
And again.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
33 does hit.
Nice. It's just 2 attacks because I'm holding 1 weapon.
Yeah, that's fair. Because you're doing the two-handed with the combos back on your belt.
Yep. Let me see here. Where to put it? There it is. There's next plus.
It's just Rollman like swinging lightly on one of the first hit and then just testing to see if the creature's still standing and then walloping again.
Yeah.
As it starts to... Stars! Fuck me! Holy shit! It definitely does start seeing stars as you see Rollman like a cartoon villain or protagonist or like a Bugs Bunny smacking it with like to put the poor creature to sleep. As he hits it hard once, you hear a loud thud as the creature like looks about shakily. Second one, you hear a loud crack as something. It sounds like almost a baseball being hit by a bat as the creature like slightly its head goes side to side looking about.
Okay, that's my turn.
Rollman's flurry is a lot less terrifying when he's only using one weapon.
I mean, I did 66 points there. What are we talking about?
Jesus, yeah, right? All right, James, my man, you're up.
Well, gotta hold off on spells because there's nothing I can do that can actually damage these fucks right now.
That's fair. All right.
Can I focus to try and tell how far away that thing that we're hearing is?
Give me either a spot or listen check. Or rather, sorry, listen or search. My apologies.
I'll go with listen. God damn it.
The sounds of Rollman's cracking is kind of a little off-putting, James.
It's a little distracting.
Yeah, it's not every day you hear a skull crack in the background as it kind of... What? You're just kind of looking over at the torment Rollman is putting this poor creature through as it's seeing stars. Alright.
When we get Nar back, I might want to have him have a talk with Rollman.
Right.
About fucking what?
Listen, the good news is Rollman's not smiling. The bad news is Rollman isn't frowning while this is going on, so... Alright, anything else, James, that you'd like to do on your turn?
I will hold my action for casting a spell should I see hide or hair something new approaching.
Okay, gotcha. Alright, what was 4 now is 2 tigers are up. And you said they have to make it on. It has to make it on its turn or on your turn, Syndra, for the will save.
At the start of my turn.
Okay, perfect. Well, as the pouncing hasn't worked, both creatures have decided it'd be better to go with the strikes in numbers, especially because technically I can strike you twice or bite you once. So we're going to try the claws from the one that's on the least amount of HP.
Okay.
and see if the dice are in my favor. And we're going to go from there for the second one. Oh, there's a crit.
Potentially.
Oh, is this a Dom moment? No.
Yeah.
All right. So that is double the damage on that. So we might be going. So it's like I hit twice because I assume 15 doesn't hit.
15 doesn't hit, no.
Yeah. All right, perfect.
Evens back out. Evens back.
I know, right?
And look, you're only getting stabbed once. Well, twice for that one.
So 26 points of slashing damage as the creature attacks into you, deciding to double the amount of dice.
Okay.
As the first one kind of growls at you, glaring at you, and striking across your chest as you stab back for 4 points of damage with your cloak catching its paw as you pierce it.
And then...
As it jumps back in the air, smacking it mid in the ribs as it goes flying like a poor wiener dog. It might die.
I hope it does.
Let's see.
28 points of damage.
As it goes smacking in, or as you hear the thud, the creature's spine and body turns at an awkward angle and slams into a tree not 5 foot behind it and bends as you all hear a snap. The creature lands with a wet thud, not moving. Roman did not appreciate being striked.
Yes. Roman is looking a little bit injured.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the other tiger is still up, and hasn't used his. And it's going to try also its 2 claw attacks. I'm sorry for this. Well, at least I would be if I didn't enjoy this. That's a 17 and 27.
Well, 27 hits.
Hey, at least not a crit.
Yeah.
So you're only going to take one of these. 8 points of damage as you feel the slashing of the claws across your chest, digging into it as you feel the, like, almost tic-tac-toe board you now have across you going, looking down at it at both annoyance and for an interesting new scar. You're going to have a good story to tell about as the creature ends its turn. 21 hits. Oh, no.
Take damage.
He's going to slam back.
Yes.
And the 6 was from the cloak, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. Want to make sure. Let's see what you got, good sir. 35 points of damage. Alright. And this is still your bludgeoning damage as you slam it back, smacking it in the skull as the creature pulls its claws back. As it goes to growl at you, you see as the mouth shuts violently and a few teeth shattering as the creature shakes its head a few times with a slightly dent in its head as it looks up at you. Its eyes kind of more now like Slid the Sloth as it stares at you angrily.
I just wince.
All right.
Okay, I don't have to worry as much now. He's wincing.
Yeah, as you end your turn, James is concerned for your bloodlust for a second, not knowing if you're enraged, just naturally.
No one knows that the wince is from me hurting right now.
Yeah, it's his hands were vibrating from that blow. He can feel that. He's not enjoying it. He's remembering why he doesn't like using clubs. Sindra, you're up.
Well, first things first, I need the fortitude save.
Ooh, no? Please.
Yeah.
That's a -10. Do you know how bad that is? Oh, well, that's a -6.
You are now exhausted.
Oh, fuck. The tiger begins panting
index.
heavily as a red mist comes out of its mouth almost on every breath.
Damage.
It takes 6 and the creature keels over and is... Oh, cold? Oh, okay.
Not con. No.
I was about to say, damn.
That'd be nuts. It give you exhaustion and con damage.
Like, holy shit, you just killed the last of its constitution. It is now dead. The poor creature did not have a shot.
And then because that was just, I walk over to Rollerman and I cast Vigor on Rollerman.
What I do?
Regen.
You now have fast healing too.
Yippee.
Which I believe means at the beginning of your turn, you get +2 HP?
Yeah.
Yep.
Back all the way to full, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Well, until the spell ends.
Yes, well, yeah. And it's the only difference, of course, not rebuilding arms, unfortunately. But thankfully, not stopped by acid. Cool.
This will affect for 18 rounds.
Oh, damn! All right.
I feel like we're gonna fight the other creature before 18 rounds is up, but I'll keep the
Round.
plus 2 HP.
Plus 2 HP. I'm just gonna make a note of that for myself as well. So, perfect.
And that will end my turn.
All right. As you go up, kind of tapping Rollman on the shoulder, Rollman, you feel your body. It's slightly sickening, and you do feel a little bit lightheaded. Not in a point where like you'd be like out of combat, but just like as if you were kind of hungry suddenly, as your body rushes to heal itself rapidly. Thankfully, no actual effects, but it is a strange feeling as you kind of feel the magic take its effect. All right. Back up to the top of the initiative, and I have grand news. A large, rather huge-looking tiger comes walking out of the tree line with its glimmering fur that seems to have strange bits of runes kind of almost glimmering in the pattern, recognizing the light spell resistance that this creature seems to have almost from this distance. The large tiger immediately looks over at Rollman, being about 40 feet from him as it emerges from the trees. And as it rolled a 37 to its initiative, as I had to crit for that,
action goes off.
this is the next round of the initiative, sir, not the last round. This is not the end, this is at the very beginning, and that is very important to note. Its held actions only go until the end, and you can't reset yourself.
Actions go till the start of the next turn.
Technically, it goes till the end of the round, because you cannot use a held action to replace yourself higher on the initiative by holding over to the next.
It doesn't replace your initiative.
It does.
It goes off.
It does. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
However, and there we go. We'll put that down. All right. At the top of the initiative, the creature is up. I mean, if you want to take a quick look, I'll let you go take a quick glimpse, Rollman, if you need to check that. I can give you a quick second. No?
That's okay.
Okay, no worries. All right, perfect. So as the vivacious tiger emerges, its glimmering fur white with blackened runes almost kind of painted into the fur tips to give a glimmer. The creature seems to kind of look about for a moment and begin its march forward. As it does, it will come about 30 feet forward and stop about 10 feet away from Rollman. Rollman and Syndra, because you're next to him, please give me a fortitude save, as I believe both of you are able to be affected by positive energy, correct?
What?
You can be affected by positive energy.
I mean, yeah.
Okay,
It's usually
perfect.
healing, but yes.
Perfect.
It's gonna heal me? I like healing. That's definitely what it's doing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I must roll a D220.
What? Oh my god.
D220.
Is this
Huh?
is this a spell?
Technically, no. It
Is
is...
that like ability?
Let me double check what, because I don't remember what SU stands for off the top of my head.
SU is supernatural.
Yes, so never mind, no. Thank you. I was like, I don't recognize that. I don't think that's spell-like. Yeah.
Then without my buffs, that's a 29.
29 and a 24 for Rolliman.
Yeah.
Alright. You both heal 7 points of damage. If that takes you over, please give me another fortitude save.
It doesn't. I was
It's
missing.
not gonna bring me over.
Perfect. All right. As the creature glimmers, its aura around it seemingly almost awing as you feel the warm touch of this creature as it heals you almost immediately as your wounds begin to close, as it opens its mouth and roars.
The hell?
As the creature does, that ends its turn technically. 'Cause it, yep. As it can't do the other part of its thing until next turn. All right. Going down the order, James, I'm just going to confirm real quick before I move on. Did you take a second to go look to see if I'm wrong on the held action thing?
You're right for 3.5.
Okay, I figured as much. I wanted to make sure. All right, Rollman.
Because I used hold and not ready.
Yeah, Rollman, you are up, and don't forget you get your 2 HP back.
Yeah. 2 HP. Helpful. Alright, let's... Oh, the wolf's gonna probably die, so... I guess we'll charge the big one. How
Tiger.
far is it? You said 10 feet?
Yeah.
Tiger.
Yeah, not wolves, tiger.
You
10
said
feet in front of you, yes.
10 feet, okay.
You will take an
Okay.
opportunity attack if you take a step, though, because realize these,
Huh?
Oh, actually, no, you won't be... If you go straight forward, you won't leave the tiger's square. Never mind, then.
The small tiger? It
Yeah.
didn't back up you the spring attack? Or did it not this time?
Oh, it didn't pounce on you that time, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It just took its 5-foot step forward to claw you, because pouncing was not very effective.
Mm-hmm. I will just activate my Boots to the Battle Charger.
Okay.
And charge as a standard action at the big tiger.
Do you have, I assume, improved charge, is it?
That's for bull rushes, not
Yeah.
charges.
Okay,
That's
let me
not
see.
I'm not bull rushing, I'm just charging.
Alright, let me double check. I don't think charging, does it spur an opportunity attack?
No.
Oh.
It also wouldn't stop it anyway.
Nope, no, it doesn't say it. So, alright, perfect.
Actually, here, I'll be back in like 3 minutes.
Oh, do you need to take a step away? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break, real quick, for those watching at home. We'll be back in a quick moment.
Look diseased.
This one looks to be normal, but you can give me a heal check if you'd like.
Sure, I'll do that. We'll see.
How
I'm really
much
good
has
at
Will
heal.
learned about diseases from James?
Alright.
Hey, that's pretty good.
19. Good news. This creature looks like it doesn't seem to have any sort of disease. Bad news. It's really healthy.
Oh.
Got a lot of health. Just have to chip away at that, huh?
Uh-huh. You get the sense.
Alright, what would it be to switch back to my normal grip and hold in the combos in my offhand?
Do you have quick draw by chance as a feat?
I do not.
Then it is, I think, technically an action. So
That's fine.
to draw the weapon.
And then charge
Okay.
as an action with the boots.
As you turn the blade midair, taking out the comma on the other, charging forth at the creature.
Charge.
And charge
So
does
good.
not give opportunity attack, so you are good on that.
Cool.
Which I find weird, personally, because you would
Well, it's a
think...
bull rush that does that.
Well, yes,
Bull
but
rush, you're running. You're charging as you're running up to them and attacking. Bull rush is you're running into them.
Yes, but you'd think if you're running away from someone while you're charging, it would still give the opportunity attack, but apparently no.
Well, if I'm leaving the space from the creature, I'm using movement. So yes, they would get opportunity attack.
Well, it doesn't state
The side wolf, not the one that I'm attacking. That one.
Side-
Well, yeah,
Tiger.
a charge is just a movement, even
Yeah.
though it's.
All right, fair enough. Then yeah, then that would count. So the tiger will the red tiger will get its attack on you while you rush away.
Sure.
All right, let's see. Watch this be a nat 20 again. Nope.
That misses.
All right, as you rush forward, avoiding the creature's claw without much issue, charging at the larger, vivacious tiger as you do. Its mane glimmering as it stares at you. The creature's eyes glowing with a bright yellow. This thing gleams happiness.
Okay. 28 to hit.
28 does hit.
Okay. Hold on, let's see that.
Whoo!
Crits. Goodbye.
Oh!
Give me a second.
Man's doing well.
Like, what?
Nope.
Nope, not a third one.
You just got
That's a
a crit and confirmed it. So you can either double the dice or double the damage rolled.
I'll do double the damage. So I just I sub 2 more attacks. Let me roll those first.
Mm-hmm.
17. These probably will miss, but we'll see. 33,
Hits.
12.
Hits.
31. Okay, 4 hits and 1 was a crit. I'll do the crit first.
Alright.
I'll do this doubled.
As Rollman just angrily charged at this creature, tired of being attacked and annoyed with the situation.
So this is the crit. That's 72 points of damage.
72
Slashing.
points of damage. All right. It takes no damage.
That's weird.
Wait, is your sword magical? I forget.
It is.
Then never mind. No, that does go through. My apologies.
Okay.
Wanted to make sure.
Immune to the magical.
Alright, so... Alright. See what you got. As you slash into the creature.
As I do. And then yeah. 60 points of damage for the rest of the
60
attacks.
points. Alright.
6 damage.
Whew. Damn. Alright, the creature still is standing as you slash into its mane, tearing and cutting away at it. The creature roars in anger as its eyes go from the glimmering bright color and the happiness starts to darken and its aura starts to blacken.
Guys, I think it's unhappy now.
And as it has reached its bloodied phase, I need another fortitude save from Rollman, and Rollman, God help you if you fail this.
God damn it. Okay.
Remind me, what level are you guys? You're 9, right?
Level 8.
Oh.
9, but we don't have our level up yet.
We don't have a level yet.
That's right. Let's hope.
That's not 20.
Oh, you needed it, because I was going to say, I don't think you have the hit die to survive this. Alright, Roman, as you feel your body for a moment almost screaming as pain like 1,000 needles pokes through it, your mind shattering for just a second, you feel and hear a strange word spoken in front of you by this creature, almost without it moving or doing anything, as you look on angrily as the effect vanishes. Alright. Does that end your turn, Rollman? God, I hope so.
I'm gonna drink a healing potion.
Alright. Yeah, naturally.
This one's action. Actually, yeah, I will.
I mean, probably a good idea. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Whew.
Right, that's how much it is. Yeah, that plus 8. My bad. 18 healing.
18 healing. Alright. Nice work. As you end your turn, drinking the potion quickly as you have down it, the taste of cherry cough syrup still strong and prominent amongst the flavor. As you kind of plug it and put the vial back on your belt. We jump over now to James, as James, just watching Rolliman cut into this creature, tear at its mane. The creature seemingly unaffected, yet to even cough up any sort of blood, and its aura beginning to shift to something much more sinister. What would you like to do, James?
Well, I'm going to... Once we get that... Okay. Rollman! This thing looks like it's giving off an evil aura, buddy.
It looks like it's getting off an evil aura.
I mean, it does look like a negative aura. But you can give me a sense motive if you'd like.
Nah, I'm not thinking about it.
Okay.
Protection from evil onto Rollman.
Okay.
So... Just in
something.
case, +2 resistance bonus on saves.
No, I got you. I'm double checking the specific wording.
And since it's from a wand, it does have range.
Yep. Alright. I will let you know, Rollman, this effect does not help you.
Okay.
This is not an evil creature.
Well, it was worth a shot.
It was, as you
Just
confirm that he, as Rollman still seems to be slightly shaken, not physically, but slightly still with this creature unbothered. Go ahead, though.
2 levels. I can't move up because that fucking one tiger's still alive, and I don't feel like dying. So
Watch it Nat crit roll James 3 times and take his head.
Well, no, I don't feel like dying to the disease. I don't want to be...
It's understandable.
And I've got nothing else I can... Actually, hold on. This is funny. Nope, can't. That'll be the end of James's turn, because I can't levitate an unwilling creature.
Okay.
I would've.
So are you gonna hold your secondary action for something specific?
I'll hold a casting.
Okay.
I'll ready a casting if Rollman ends up within 2 levels. That would be within 45 feet of me.
Alright, well, he's already within 45 feet of you.
No, I moved back 10 feet. He went forward 40 feet.
Oh, that's true. No, he went forward 10 more feet, so he is still within the 45 feet with a distance for where you are.
The big tiger moved forward.
Yeah, because the big tiger moved forward 30 feet.
Then. Okay, never mind. Rollman, you've been enlarged.
I'm big.
He's big once more. Alright, as Rollman begins to grow and swell.
And now the sword is gargantuan, Rollman. Have fun.
Alright, as James ends his turn, James, give me a spot check.
Oh no, how many bears?
James, you look like a tasty snack, you know that? Did I ever tell you that?
Yes. Multiple people who wanted to eat me, 24.
Hey, good news, James. You see what's coming for you before it arrives. Bad news, James. You see what's coming for you. As you turn around, feeling...
Pull out my patented Acme bear spray.
As you turn around, feeling the strange hot breath down on your neck, you look up and see 3 large, bearded polar bears looking down at you. Each with hunger, as James yells at them like they're dogs. You know, James, give me an intimidation check for that. I'll take it. If you can manage to beat a 30, if you either crit or beat a 34 somehow, like...
I'm not beating a 34.
So if you crit...
I can't anything right now.
Yeah, this is a free thing. Yeah, let's see if you can get it. Is James gonna get lucky? Are the dice gods forgiving? No! Close, though, James. Close.
I'm intimidating as a child.
As you glare up at them, you see one of them ponders for a moment until the other 2 seem unbothered, and they launch into their attack. Immediately going after James as a tin can that is colorful. They're going to try and bite you.
Okay.
Rather, well, actually claw you to death. And unfortunately, that does mean 6 attacks.
Oh.
Good news, they don't get rake or rend. It's normal attacks. So, bad news, they have a plus 13 to hit. So that's a 29.
And the rest miss.
Oh my god. So, alright, the first one kind of rushing in as you kind of glare at the creatures, trying intimidatingly, thinking it's worked for a moment as the first one swipes at you, catching you kind of lightly in the helmet, right next to the eye, as he gives a nice little cut that you know is going to give a boxer's scar. Alright, let's see. Oh, damage. Was that a... No, it wasn't. Okay. 1d8 plus 8. Shockingly, not much for their claws. 11 points slashing damage.
That's a lot for what I currently have for health, though.
Wow. Alright, that's right, the fireballs. I forgot about that.
The fireballs did fuck them up.
Good news. The salamanders haven't decided to go against you. As the polar bears slam, the first one kind of catches you off guard, James, and putting your head down a little bit as the creatures start blowing down. You feel as the tink, 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 as they keep bouncing off your armor, kind of slamming you further into the ground as you feel you're not really bothered, but your boots are digging into the ground. As Syndra watches.
I don't know what it feels like to be a python.
Right. As Syndra watches from the side, watching this and observing as the bears finish up their turn, the tiger is up, and it's going to take a second and roll to see who it should attack. We're going to go high, low, alright, and it's going to go after Rollman's back, because the creature is just going to look at Syndra and turn around. What's up?
What's attacking me?
The tiger with the diseased breath.
Oh, okay.
It's coming at your back.
Don't do that.
Swiggity swooty, he's coming for that booty.
So 11. That is a 19 and a 30 to hit, Rollman.
The 30 hits, 19 misses.
Ooh, alright. Unfortunate. As the creature bites into your back, dealing a total of claws at your back, dealing a total of 7 damage as you feel the slash kind of cut in. The creature roaring as it does. The second one, as you manage to catch the paw and toss it away, as the creature prepares its another attack, growling angrily at you. It breathes heavily. And kind of ends its turn as it is beginning to be exhausted, and holy crap, I'm barely able to keep my modifier.
Don't worry, I'm gonna hit you now.
Ah, yes, that's right. You get to hit me back. I forgot about that part. Wait, hold up. Oh no, hold up. Can we talk about this?
No.
You can pull out your Acme plot hole.
All right. That hits. As you turn and swing back.
But only if I get my Acme bear spray, please.
Rollman's about to just turn and swap this guy like a fly.
Yep, that is what's about to happen.
Turning and slapping it with a sword.
That is what I'm doing.
It is a one-handed gargantuan. Oh, are you slashing at it too?
Huh?
Are you gonna slash at it?
Oh, well, I kind of have to, because
Yeah.
I'm not holding it in the right way. That's fine.
That's true. Alright.
I'm okay with that.
So let's do one hit at a time first to do damage, see if you kill it.
I'm gonna die on the first hit. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
This is gargantuan full blade damage. This is horrifyingly powerful. Next thing I need to get for Rollman, a thing that lets him enlarge himself.
48 points of damage. Is it still up?
Rollman, give me a fortitude save.
Alright.
And then give me a second one because you killed the creature.
Damn. Alright. Does a big creature have to make it too? Yeah, random takes me.
You know, it's funny. That creature, immune to disease.
Wow. Shocker.
I know, right?
This is some bullshit.
I know. 26 succeeds. 25 also succeeds. As you watch the tiger's head go flopping to the ground as you cleanly cut it, breathing in the blood spray once again, quickly sneezing and coughing it out as fast as you can to get the stuff out of your nose, or your nostrils and mouth. You manage to thankfully avoid catching the disease once more. All right. Well, that ends the tiger's turn. As it doesn't have a head anymore. Syndra, sadly, your exhausted tiger is now dead.
Yeah, well, these bears are animals, right?
Correct. They are normal beasts.
I need a will save.
Animal friend.
No.
Become friends.
Are you doing it on all three or just one?
It's one at a time. So,
Okay.
So the left for the cast.
Gotcha. Just want to make sure in case I had to roll it. That's a 16.
He is now charmed.
All right.
And I hate to tell you, it's for the next 8 hours.
That's fantastic. Okay.
I'm gonna do it again to the right one.
Okay.
Friends today.
Yeah, like right. They're collecting. Oh god damn it.
All right, 2 of them are my friends now.
Yippee.
Get a fucking animal harem here going. All right.
Harem. Whoa,
My
Cinder,
turn.
what do you do with
James.
those animals?
James, I cut your enemy down to 1.
Alright.
You're just gonna be petting my new animal.
Can I attack the bear's allies and have them stay charmed?
Just don't attack the charmed ones. Just
Okay, so the one on the left and the one on the right are charmed. The middle one
you
isn't.
beat the shit out of the one in the middle. It won't do anything. Like for the charmed spell, it won't affect. Just don't hit the ones I've charmed.
Okay.
Yeah, Harry. What do you do?
Okay, you have your Barum now, though, from what I've heard.
Harem. What a term.
All right.
See.
Who's next?
As you end your turn, kind of glimmering at casting as your eyes glow green, and both of the bear's eyes begin to glow green as well, as they kind of lower themselves to the ground as you end your turn. The center one looking at the other two with some confusion as it continues its attack on James, smacking at his helmet as hard as it can. All right.
Next.
As we go back up to the top of the initiative, good sirs. The vivacious tiger's wounds begin to heal almost instantly. You watch as its body begins to heal up, and bringing it back to near full HP. As the creature's body glimmers and glows for a second, it looks at you for a moment and ends its turn, because that's a whole round full action effect.
Oh, I'm just gonna beat him right back down.
However, as it ends its turn, and at the end of its turn, I need another will save from you, Rollman.
Will save?
Or sorry, fortitude save. My apologies. For its negative energy aura.
Oh, it's negative energy aura now.
Yep. Switch from positive. Yep.
Well, 27.
27. Well, easily succeeding, and nothing happening. All right, cool. Fantastic. As it ends its turn, Rollman, you are up.
Okay. Let's fuck this thing up.
It's not.
Yes.
It can understand you. It has a whole 3 intelligence.
That's one more than the other things. Not
Exactly.
enough,
Oh, shit, Rollman's decided.
That means I can't tame it. Alright, kill it.
Oh, God. Sindri just
I've gotten
Rollman
the
just kind of looks back, and Sindri just shakes her head no, and Rollman just turns back and smiles at the creature with like excitement.
My back's to him. I can't worry about this smile. Damn it.
Let's do a full attack on this thing.
Oh, nope. 27 to hit.
First, I will switch
That's
action
14.
to
Okay.
haste for this round, so I get an extra attack.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
He begins. As his body glimmers red.
Yes.
Let's.
Red.
Yep. Let's see what you got.
Attack.
Yep.
Hit.
I'm gonna give a shocker. This thing has less AC than the tigers.
Oh.
The
you should've
small,
told
like
me I
the
would've done
smaller
power
ones. Yep. That hits.
20 plus. 21. I got 2 more to go.
Bro, if you hit a nat 1, I would be shocked. That'd be like the only way you're
Hey,
not
don't
hitting.
say that.
I'm saying
say
it.
that.
I'm saying it. Roll some nat 1s for me.
No.
Yeah, no,
20
no. 20 does hit. We're getting closer. Come on, keep going down. Next one's gonna be a 19. Different weapon modifier. That does. That also hits.
The 14 hits?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I will put it all. Do separate attacks lead to things, or can I put it all into one?
You can put it all as one.
Okay. Okie dokie.
Let's see if you can strike this creature down.
That's the plan.
He's now wielding a gargantuan weapon and a large weapon, Royce. I think he's about to.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Plus,
Yeah.
Get
No. This
He
is
is let me solo her at
This
this
is
point.
this is some
No.
Dark Souls boss level shit. Yeah.
Cameron, he's Melania. Be honest.
Blades flying everywhere. It's a split second.
They do be flying everywhere. Alright, give me a second.
Rollman's got the anime powers at this point. You know, he's so fast. By the time you see him done, he just
Here we
kind
go.
of
Here's a
puts
better
his
image
blade
for
away.
Rowan.
Odin.
The only man who could cut Kaido until Zoro did it. And then Luffy
Which
kicked
is
the
then
shit out of
overshadowed
him.
by the fact that Luffy used him as a fucking jump rope.
Yeah, basically fished him into a volcano, yep. Still
The
not marked
power
as
of
officially
chain logic.
dead, so I can't wait till they pop up in later arcs. And if you are spoiled by this, well, that sucks to be you. It came out like a year ago. Holy
212
fuck! So, Rollman, even with my DR, you still kill. I know. You still
We
kill
got
them.
a magic resistant pelt!
How would you like to do this, Rollman?
All right. As I see it like rejuvenate all its, blood back into its body, I just give a little smile, and then cleave off each of its limbs with each attack, and then for the final hasted one, right through the skull.
As you watch Rolliman, like a lightning bolt seems to disappear as he looks up at the creature, catching it off guard. You all watch as he vanishes from sight, though the first of his swings you can see as it cuts through the creature's first forearm. The paw going almost completely clean cut as the creature, as the tiger leans forward suddenly. The tree next to it kind of cuts slightly in half and beginning to fall over as the back foot falls and slices away. Rolliman seemingly going about the other side, doing the same in a single hit as the creature lands on its belly as it looks up in fear and concern, wiggling its arms like a small wiener dog. For a moment, it looks on in horror and concern with the biggest and cutest eyes as it looks to Rolliman, who seems unaffected as he puts his blade cleaving right through the skull of the creature, cutting it cleanly through. As the beast drops the last bear, kind of looks over, taking a moment, and lays down, cowering as it watches the vivacious tiger's body go limp.
Alright, I listen. Is there any other sounds in the forest? Like, is there going to be more creatures showing up, or is this like it?
Give me a listen check.
There's no way Rolliman doesn't hear the clinking of these claws hitting James over and over again.
Tink, 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 tink.
No, that bear is sitting down. He ain't gonna be doing nothing anymore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna handle animal that bear.
Do you have a good handle animal?
No.
16.
Then no.
As you listen to the forest, it is eerily quiet, Rolliman. As you look about, not hearing any seemingly noise other than the three bears over near James, kind of quietly cowering and making little murmuring noises. As you look about, nothing kind of catching your eye.
Other than
Mm-hmm. Let's get back to the ship. These creatures came from that direction. I'll make sure they're safe.
I'm a little stuck in the ground. Give me a moment. Plus, I think Syndra.
Do I
Thank
see
you.
James like halfway in the ground?
James, like up to like midway up his ankles, is like bear stuck in the ground.
God damn it.
I look behind me and see the bears. Like, when did they show up?
They've been beating on me for the last 30 seconds. At least until Syndra charmed those two, and then this one saw you do that.
As James motions over to the dead corpse that's kind of leaning over,
We're also
spewing out
taking
blood.
that back with us, because that pelt has got runes on it, which means it might still have magic.
Let me work my magic on the center bear.
James kind of pulls his first foot out, and the dirt and rock kind of breaks away.
Also, you might want to collect your salamanders. They're buried in the snow over that way.
So he kind of walks over, kind of helps James get his other foot out as he kind of gives a pull and a tug between the two of you, pulling James out of the ground completely. As Syndra walks over to the other bear, sitting in the center of the other two, seems to be sitting there completely up, not bothered in the slightest, their eyes still glimmering green as they are. The third kind of looks at you, Syndra.
So I cast Speak with Animals.
Alright, you hear as it goes, holy fuck, please don't eat me, please don't eat me, please don't eat me.
So, you want to survive.
It can speak? I can speak?
Yes.
Why can I
Yes.
speak?
Don't worry about it.
Looks down at its paws and looks back up at you and goes, I'm human. I must be a snowbeard.
Oh.
I knew it as it
No.
starts like looking at the other two bears, trying to shake them out of it. I'm a magician. I knew it. I told you.
Okay. So we killed your pack leader.
Looks over at you, goes, so I'm a fucking wizard.
So you're mine now, or else I burn you to death.
So I'm a wizard that belongs to you.
I pat him on the head and I say, "That's right. Come on."
The others seem to get up, and he kind of seems to wait a moment, but seems to follow shortly after, realizing there's not many other options here.
Fucking hyper-intelligent bear. We can train him as a druid.
That'd be hilarious.
No, he's a wizard.
You see the bear
He's a
kind of keeps
wizard.
like raspberrying and making raspberry sounds with its tongue as he's trying to do something, like putting its paw out in front of him. As James and Roland, you see this, it looks like he's trying to cast a spell.
Okay, how much does the large tiger weigh?
Ooh, good
Huge.
question. Let's
Big.
see. Average.
Show him in the box.
Shove him in the ball.
Well, I'm shoving
Good
the limbs in
news!
the box already.
The red tigers are about 680 pounds apiece.
I'm not putting those in here. Those. Mm-mm. I
can
don't want to
clean-
deal with no blood elemental.
I can clean the disease out of the bodies.
You got enough spells for that?
I have enough spells for
Plus-
2.
However, the vivacious one that Rollman cut up, not account, or if you're accounting for all of the body parts and fluid that is kind of laying on the ground, roughly
I'm
about
not worried about it.
about 932 pounds.
Really,
I'm putting the legs in.
Yeah.
Because we got 7,000 pounds to work with, and even taking off what the salamanders took up, we got a good couple thousand pounds.
you know what? We're probably gonna go to the black market. Wait, can I bottle some of the diseased blood from the blood tiger?
Yeah. Do you have profession alchemy, right? Or not profession alchemy, craft alchemy?
I do have craft alchemy.
Yeah, let's get a roll for that. Just for like how much you can get in without like the dirt mixed into it.
Stuffing the tiger bodies into this box.
Yeah, Rollman and James kind of dragging, keeping an eye out as the two salamanders kind of bring some of the diseased tiger parts slightly over as they seem to kind of like claw and pull, not trying to touch it with their mouths. Oh, Sindra, yeah, with ease. You get about, how many vials do you have? Or how many vials are you trying to get of it?
I have 6 left after
Yeah.
the water.
And yeah, I'd say you could fill up all 6 if you'd like with that.
I have a little
We have more
bandolier.
vials on the ship.
I have a bandolier of completely horribly diseased blood labeled "Do Not Touch."
Yeah. Now, sorry, and you're leaving the diseased tigers here, you said, James?
We'll take 2 of the bodies, I guess, that if Syndra wants to purify
Wait.
them immediately.
You said, DM, that it forms a blood elemental, right, of sorts?
Correct. When the normally, so theoretically, these creatures should start forming here within a few hours or instant
So the core should be there.
inside the body. Correct.
James, do you want blood elemental cores?
I mean, I don't know what they're good for, but
Sure.
they use them.
James and Sindra, because I know Rollman would probably be more keeping his eyes out for like other creatures showing up at this point. So both of you give me a heal check, just to see if you can, just to get a rough idea of when you think these things are going to transform. Because again, you're not 100% on the disease. Okay, 14. And Sindra, 23. James, rough estimation, you'd give it, if they haven't immediately turned within the next 24 hours, they'd have to. Sindra, from what you roughly can tell of the creatures looking at them, it seems that there's something off with them as you kind of look about it. You'd guess that this disease might be slightly modified or may not be the same strand that's familiar with medical books. You'd probably give them maybe an hour or two, which also means that the stones inside their chest should be quite large.
I would say, with the roll, do I know if I remove the stone, doesn't have extra blood, will it not be able to form? Because it won't have any blood to form up with.
As long as it is kept away from other blood with the disease, because the disease is required to work with the specific elemental stone. So in the sense that you could give it to James, James could lose his head. As long as James doesn't have this disease, the blood won't formulate around the core. But with that, I will note, it does mean the core will be more diluted looking. So it won't be as clear, which means it won't be as valuable or as refined. So, not
mean, it's better than-
it's just not valuable.
It's better than taking nothing, and if I want this area, I do not want blood elementals running around in this area later.
Not to bother mentioning, if we do this, we can take the blood
Weird.
elementals and
I'm
kill them at our leisure, because we can make them.
I'm assuming, Cameron, you don't want the rest, because they're just tigers other than this disease. You don't care, right?
No, I don't. They have decent strength, and I'm guessing they're a little bit stronger than regular tigers.
Give me an
but-
appraise check, James.
Oh.
We'll call it an appraise, or take profession mercantile. Either way, I mean, you'll get the same thing in this
the same
situation. It's just most people don't have that profession check, so.
Actually, proficient merchant's higher because my wisdom's higher. Never mind.
It works.
I've never rolled well on proficient merchant.
You have
So,
not.
with
It's
an
very
average
funny.
roll, these creatures having a pretty high strength to them naturally, and a decent dexterity because, I mean, it's a tiger, they're elastic. I mean, this wouldn't make a bad material for, like, a strength subsided material. If you're looking for, like, natural armor, I mean, you've worked with much better, much higher quality. This definitely isn't the idea. But if you were going to make, like, a belt that infused the creature's, like, own abilities into it to make your strength higher, this might not be a terrible place to start for a low-end version.
I
Otherwise,
have the vivacious tiger there, though, too.
yes, which, with that creature, you're pretty sure you would not be able to make the same item, as these tigers do not have a natural strength stat. Funny enough.
No, we should probably get... We should probably get at least one of them, because I can turn them into something.
Right.
Alright.
I am a horse first, though. I kind of want them out while I'm working. I do not want blood elemental forming while I'm working.
Alright, no worries. As you begin to kind of work into it, give me a survival check, Syndra, as you begin cutting them up. And while this goes on, Rollman, you can either give me search, spot, or listen. It will change the results.
I'll do search.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this would just be considered like while these two are kind of storing things, gathering up stuff.
3, Syndra, so that's a 46.
I don't need it.
Crit. Let's see what Rollman's go real quick as well.
Start doing knife tricks with the skinning knife.
Right. No, it's the.
Oh,
Oh my god. It's that Charles Dance scene in Game of Thrones where he's like, when he's introduced as Tywin Lannister, like skinning the deer perfectly. Like while he's having a conversation with his son. It's like, oh, the Syndra's just casually politicking, not even looking at what they're doing. And she just cuts up the creature. And that is search, spot, or listen, Rollman.
that is a search.
Okay, cool. As you watch Rollman, keeping your eyes out, you do notice the salamanders are kind of eyeing and watching the area to the east, as well as the kind of eyeing. The bears seem to be eyeing towards the cabin itself, kind of catching what looks to be a shadow in the cabin that's for a moment looked like a humanoid figure looking your direction, seemed to disappear just as quickly as you noticed it. But otherwise, nothing seems to be coming closer. No hostile creatures seem to be making any sounds. Thankfully, you do hear birds.
Okay. I'll just say, hurry up if you can. Don't want to linger here too long. I believe the individual in the cabin has noticed our presence.
When you look, Syndra's moving at maximum speed.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Cinder's
Holy shit.
like looking over at you as you're saying this, kind of coaching the bears, showing one of the bears how to do it. The bear is like replicating this on one of the tigers.
It's the one that thinks he's a wizard.
As they seem to kind of follow suit, Cinder kind of cuts up and gets through the cores, kind of stripping the guts out of the creatures, dropping almost 200 pounds from each of the red tiger corpses, as well as stripping the diseased parts from it, leaving nothing but favorable pelt and meat were behind if you'd like to take it, as well as bones, of course.
Taking just the pelts, I don't trust that meat.
Okay.
If it was a disease in the blood, it's in the meat.
Alright, yeah. So you can add 4 large dire tiger pelts to your inventory there as well. As you finish, or as Cinder kind of quickly finishes up, seeing the concern and showing the one of the bear how to cut the last one up to save time, you gather up the last of the pelts, shoving the vivacious tiger's parts into the chest. As James kind of has to jump up and stomp on the thing like a Looney Tunes show a few times to get it all the way down, but as it gets in and then closes up, kind of strapping the chest back to his back, the 3 of you, with your 1, 2, 3, 4,
Entourage.
5 new allies. Yeah, I had to do a count in my head here.
5 new pets.
Yeah, head back towards the ship. As you lot head through to the ship, thankfully, with Rollman's search, nothing kind of seems to follow or keep after you lot. Nothing seemingly making noise. A few, what looks to be small squirrels, kind of run across the trees, seeing their red skin or their red fur kind of glimmering under the snowlight as they do, chasing each other. A couple of odd-looking birds with little feathery beards that seem to kind of make almost like a turkey noise as they flutter away. As you pass through the forest. Coming to the hill where your ship is fully set, you can see the Roughbloods kind of just sitting on the sides of the rail. One clearly on this side as you approach the hill, looking down as he sees you and waves, recognizing Karak himself.
Anything happened while we're gone? I'll shout up to him.
As you shout up, as they start to lower the levee down to kind of let the elevator system sing, James has a haul with him, and the chest being a little bit more expanded. Crack kind of links down and goes, "No, Captain. We did see some fancy fireworks though. A lot of fire coming from your direction. It looked like everything okay."
Yep, we just found the fire salamanders and dealt with them.
He nods and goes, "That why you got the 2 behind you and the 3 bears?"
The bears were from the tiger.
He nods and goes, I knew another ogre who used to tame bears. We called him Goldilocks. As the elevator comes to a stop.
Funny.
James is just gonna walk on and sit because I'm not falling on my ass.
Need to make you a chair.
I sit on the chest. I set the chest down and sit on it.
James is annoyed. Yeah, go ahead.
Cinder, do you want to leave these animals and salamanders out here?
Do
you have, like,
I was just gonna get the bears reacquainted and release them back into the wild.
Oh, okay. Well, you could do that. What about the salamanders, though? I don't know if you're keeping those, or what's the situation with those?
So, when we clear the area, I was going to see if I get them set up here proper to defend the grove. But I have to check for other salamanders. There's stuff we have to do first.
Okay. What do you want to do with them right now?
Yeah. For tonight, I'll set them up. Don't worry.
Okay. Now get up on the boat.
Okay. As you hop on, so Cinder, are you leaving the salamanders down below, or are you taking them on the ship with you?
I'll make sure they're fed, and then I'll send them back to the water to relax.
As James and Rollman kind of head up on the elevator, kind of leaving you behind to say take your moment with the creatures, as Karak kind of gives them a breakdown of all of the pretty birds they saw in the sky, all the weird ships they saw flying by. James freaking out as he hears more about that storm giant ship from earlier, as they kind of head down below to grab some food and take a moment to catch their breath. Cinder, we'll start with you as you kind of find yourself down at the bottom of the ship. The small flame brother salamander, the large noble salamander, and the 3 large bearded polar bears kind of sitting around looking at you.
I start laying out the meat I usually carry for the bears first.
Okay. Kind of sniff at it and seem to take some of it.
Yeah, I am going to uncharm the 2 bears, because...
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna attack after what happened to their pack leader.
You kind of drop the charm. They both kind of shake their heads about for a second and look over at the middle one and seem to kind of sniff at the food, taking it willingly as they sit there eyeing you a little. You see the caution definitely as well as the fear. You do get a sense that they're willing to fight, but they're not stupid right now, or they're not stupid enough to make the first move.
You 3 are going to be let to go free, as I kind of still pet the one that's terrified that saw everything that I didn't charm.
Kind of looks at you, still with a shock in his eyes, 1,000-yard stare.
You're just going to keep weird things out of the forest that shouldn't be there, and you'll be fine. You 2.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah?
So give me a diplomacy check for that.
Diplomacy and not handle animal. Okay.
You know what? I'll take handle animal, to be fair. They do have an intelligence low enough.
Alright. Let's see. Oh, +7. 16. It could be worse.
16, okay. As you kind of explain this, the bears kind of seem to nod to that along, kind of getting the understanding that they're being let loose, as they seem to take their food and like take a moment staring at you, and then kind of turn and start to saunter off back into the forest.
Now, from what I saw of the summoners, do I think they can understand any language, or...
Give me a moment.
Didn't you talk to them last session?
They didn't speak last. They made a lot of croaking noises when they were laughing at James.
Yeah, they made a lot of croaking noises. They do seem to understand your commands quite well. It may not necessarily be that they speak any language, but they do seem to understand it. Best guess, as you kind of look at them, Ignin would probably be a good place to start. If not Ignin, Primitive.
I have primitive. I have the opposite of Ignin.
Yeah, it's kind of the downside when you're dealing with fire salamanders.
You two. In some time, we're going to clear out the other enemies from this area. You'll be allowed to live here. As long as when I show up with people, you don't bother them. Yeah?
Creatures seem to give a deep guttural laughing or kind of croaking noise, sound as if they're laughing again.
I kind of just raise an eyebrow and wait.
They kind of stop and then stare at you, waiting.
I'll just motion them back to the water after they eat.
So they kind of seem to take the food, look at you one last time. They seem to make again a laughing noise as one of them spots James, who kind of comes up to look down and make sure to check on you. As it seems to make a very loud laughing, like almost Jabba the Hutt sound, as it looks up at James and then begins to saunter back off into the forest, back towards the pools.
Can I roll if that's the only noise they can make other than like snarling?
Give me a knowledge nature, yeah.
Is that the only noise they can make?
With Syndra's expertise on salamanders.
That's
From
true.
the book they read in prison.
On salamander. Let's see. What's my knowledge nature plus? Oh, plus 14.
Ooh.
That's a 26.
26. From what you have observed and from the few books you've read, these creatures seem to only be able to speak a single language of Ignin. Otherwise, their form of common, as we would understand it, similarly to the idea that dolphins speak to each other or can speak to each other, is the form of guttural laughing and then challenging kind of growls and somewhat of a roar.
Since they didn't growl at me and they followed my orders and walked off, I'll just let it be. Seems to be working out.
I mean, as you kind of note, the noble salamanders are quite intelligent and are known to be quite memorable creatures, with many of them even having been able to sense the same smell of a family member of a person who has helped them in the past and been willing to protect them. So, I mean, in theory, salamanders are quite loyal creatures from what you know of them. If it understood, it's going to stick with that until for a long time.
Alright. I'll head in.
Alright.
Which, by that I mean I will walk up the hole.
Yeah. Head up the ladder, yep. Oh, what? No, that's right, because you're spider. Yep, okay.
I can just walk up the hole. I don't need the ladder.
You don't want to make a balance check on the elevator?
Nope, not until I finish the training. I'm training skill focused balance. I'm halfway done.
But as we jump back up to James and Roman, kind of winding back the clock for a moment, as you head up, kind of leaving Syndra down below for a second. Crack kind of describes like the birds that he saw, a couple of interesting creatures here and there. Noting that he saw, they could see the vivacious tiger coming towards you because it glue like a glimmering light through the forest as it walked towards you lot. And then that he saw 3 ships in total. One was the same airship that you guys had seen earlier from the Storm Giant. Thankfully, it did not seem to notice the ship. And then 2 other airships that he did not recognize whatsoever. They looked to be very simple and plain in their design, though. Like almost small kelches, so like tiny ships.
Okay.
As he kind of
Are
leads
the
you down
birds-
below. Go ahead.
Are the birds you describe actually birds, or are they something else?
They are birds. For the most
Okay.
part, as James accounts these as what would be the equivalent of a snow seagull. They like to fly in blizzards.
Snow gulls.
Yeah, if
Just
you
checking.
will. They're very unique as they only live in the Snowbeard Lands, surprisingly. So, it's but to a common snowbeard, they're very annoying as they don't care and they will try and swallow small children, even though they
Do you
can't
think they
fit
could
them.
carry coconut?
What?
Do you think they could carry coconut?
You're pretty sure they have a mouth big enough. Like they try to their mouths are just barely too small to carry a small snowbeard child off.
Oh,
This
that's
is
big.
why we
Big bird.
decorate our beards. The shining scares them away.
Mm. I see.
But as you kind of head down for to join the crew who are enjoying a meal, Crack kind of, after explaining this, kind of brings one of the birds over. It's barely, you can see he's been plucked, but is still alive. As Crack
What the fuck?
hands it to you.
Still alive?
We didn't want to let it get away, Captain, and it kept trying to fly. So I thought, and I think this is a genius plan. We plucked the feather so it couldn't get away.
Are you planning on eating it, or what?
That's a great idea, Captain.
How diseased do snow gulls get? Are they like real seagulls where you can't technically eat the meat?
You can eat these things because there's not the sense of these things aren't like the modern issue where they find like wrappers and like common human foods to eat. So these creatures do still eat mostly wild beasts, but it's like eating a rat. It's not going to taste good. You're almost 100% sure. There's not much meat on them, and they're very oily.
I'm gonna make you shoulder pads, Crack.
And looks at you with
Out of seagull?
and looks down
No,
at the goal and
Or
looks
something
back
else.
at you.
I have an idea now.
Nods and goes, "So can we eat it?"
Do what you want. It's fully edible. Best comparison is flying rat.
He nods at that and goes, "My mama used to make rat when I was young, man. Best damn
Awesome.
rat you
Smells
ever
rat.
have." Kind of hands it off to the catfish. He just grimaces as he walks off into the kitchen with the poor bird. As you hear the butcher knife beginning to be sharpened a few moments later. One of the guards kind of looks to both of you and goes, or one of the Frost Giant guards kind of looks at you both of you and goes, "By the way, you have a visitor in the captain's quarters, James."
I'll get Sindra up here and go visit them.
Kind of nods at that. As James kind of taking a moment wondering who the fuck has found you lying out in the middle of
Three
nowhere.
people that can find us right now that would just randomly show up. None of them are good.
Or it could be the guy in the cabin. It could be...
Imagine. That'd be interesting. Are you concerned?
He was among the three.
As you kind of head up, Rollman, as you hear this, are you going to follow after James, or are you going to get yourself a dish
Yeah.
of this goal?
No. I'm not gonna eat the seagull.
Aw.
The snow gull, you know what? With the right, it's like pecking duck. It might be good.
So James explains this to you,
He
Rollman,
caught
on the
it.
walk
He caught it
up.
on his own, so he can have it.
That's fair.
He even plucked it himself, I think.
That reminds me, there's an animal out there that I want to get because they can make eggs, and it'd be
chicken?
good to keep on the ship.
You just want a chicken?
He just wants the chicken. It's just...
Just one chicken.
Oh.
Well, there's also those clucks because they burrow.
As you
James,
go,
You got hit like 6 times, right?
Yeah, he's gotten clonked
Are
many times in the
you
last two
okay?
fights.
I'm very much hurt, and I don't want to walk into that office alone. I'm getting you and Sindra in there with me.
James, as you kind of walk over to the edge, seeing Sindra down there as the salamanders kind of waddle off into the forest as she starts to
no.
kind of walk up the
Laughs at
side
me.
of the ship. Yep.
I'm gonna look at Sindra and go, I don't know if that was laughing at me because of what they did, or just trying to apologize. I'm gonna just ignore it.
Yeah,
So
they're
that's the
definitely
only noise they make other than growling.
Hey, I bet you they're
Okay,
loud.
do they speak a language?
Well, do you speak fire? Do you speak...
I can comprehend fire.
I raised an eyebrow, not sure what that means.
You can recommend how hard you got hit by 3 fireballs.
Damn, now that's a burn. Fuck.
I have a spell that can help me understand them. Speaking to them is out of my wheelhouse.
Oh, I just sent them back basically home. So,
Okay,
Yeah,
what
cool.
about the bears?
they're gonna start patrolling the area. I can't really take all the bears away or bad things happen to the ecosystem.
That's fair. It seems like the place is already kind of in shambles. By the way, you're coming with me to the captain's quarters. There's a guest in there apparently.
I start marching away towards the captain's quarters. I swear to God, if it's the kicks, I'll kill him.
As you
Are you
go,
say
walking.
that?
go
Are you
ahead.
saying that like in your brother, whatever? I just want to see if I can hear it or not. Are you saying that?
Does Sindra say the G-Kicks thing out loud?
No, Syndra's just marching. But since last time Jiggins was seen, that Syndra said I told him I'd fucking kill him if he came back. You could probably guess.
I wasn't there for that.
That's fair. That's
No, but
true.
he told you two about it afterwards.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Sindra told us. That's why James went to get her.
She
Alright,
said
well-
she would shoot him on sight if he came back.
As
All right, I'm
Jay-
ready to back you up.
As Cinder kind of goes to the door, Roman right behind the blades out in his hand. James kind of watching with concern. at
James
the very
walking
back.
up behind Roman.
Well, Blade's not out. The hands on Blades.
Got you. Okay. Cinder goes to open the door, and as you open it, inside sits an individual that looks slightly elvish with gray skin, bright red eyes, wearing heavy metal plate, and kind of carrying what looks to be a single sword on his hip and another sword on his back that has a glowing red orb on it. His hair kind of glimmering red and short, his ears slightly pointed, as he looks onto you lot for a moment and goes, "So you must be the lot who queued up my trap."
Who the fuck are you?
I could
That's
ask
one way to put it, I
you
guess.
the same thing, good sir. Why are you in my hunting grounds?
Well, it's technically my land.
No, it is the Stronghelm's land, and I had a deal with Odger Stronghelm for hunting rights.
Yeah. Well, he's dead, and recently we've come into hold of the stronghold nearby.
You snowbeards die so quickly for... Now, this one would actually last more than a millennia. Jesus, my God.
Well, he didn't die of old age; he got killed. So,
Please tell me, how did he die?
I just look at the other two, and just look back at him.
In dishonor.
Trying to kill me. Assassination. Got himself killed.
You lot are the ones who did him in. Congrats on that. Not many people are strong enough to deal with such a bull of a man. So that makes you the new lord, I assume, as he kind of like sits down in one of the cushy chairs in front of the desk and kind of turns it to the doorway.
I am James.
Nice to meet you, James. I think the only way you'd be able to pronounce my name is as A. We'll just go with, and that is A-H-H-Y.
Is this a fae?
Do you have knowledge planes?
I do.
Then give me a knowledge planes roll.
What do they know about the
Oh.
Blades? Hey.
Nice.
It's hard to tell, James. He might be. He may not be. He's definitely not giving off the typical like Fey trickster persona. Given he looks like an actual hunter, almost like a witcher, if you will. I mean, this guy looks and breathes professional monster hunter. Doesn't fit the kind of Fey perspective very well of coming over into these planes. Or coming
Well,
into the mortal plane.
what can I do for you?
Looks at you and goes, "Well, I have a problem. See, I had a deal with Odger Stronghelm that I would be allowed to hunt in these lands forevermore. Well, In exchange, I kept my mouth shut about certain things and dealings he had. And now, it seems I need to make a deal with you should I wish to continue my right. So, I think the better question is, James, what can I do for you?
Well, I have multiple problems, and a lot of them I don't want to shove off onto somebody I barely know.
That's a sensible lord. Who knows? I could be a catastrophic individual. For all you know, I could be even illiterate. Could you believe that? Unable to write or read. Oh, humanity.
Do I know of
But
any Monster Hunter named or A?
Give me a profession, mercenary, or a knowledge history. I'll take either.
can I get on that knowledge history? Because if he's been here for a long time, there's a chance I
Sure.
may have heard of him.
I just look him up and down and just go, you're not part of any factions, are you? No stars, no.
God damn it.
No, I enjoy hunting creatures for the challenge of it. Most I let go after I've captured them. Some that are a threat to the area I remove to places where they'll be less of a threat. Trying to keep the balance around the world as much as possible. With a 9, James, no, you haven't ever heard of any individual with this name, but it's definitely not his true name, as you get a sense. It's almost like a
pseudonym.
Yeah, it seems like there's something more to it that he's not telling
Work
you.
name.
Yeah. Rollerman. This dude doesn't sound familiar to anyone, and he's very foreign looking. You'd be pretty sure if he's capable of hunting creatures of this, like, of your ability, and looking like that, there's no way he wouldn't be known. I mean, you're famous around half of the world. So, like, yeah.
May
Wow.
I roll nature to figure out what he is?
Sure.
Well, I do walk around with a very famous merchant who's very public. This guy does not seem like very public kind of
Correct.
guy.
Yeah. But you've never heard of or seen any mercenary that fits this?
Is a 16 plus 14, so that's a 30.
This individual is definitely not humanoid of any sort. This is an outsider, a native outsider of sorts. You would recognize this as a closest thing to explain it, given your little corkboard, is an elder demon, someone who was born after the Clouded Age.
I kind of narrow my eyes.
Well, that is commendable. I respect that line of work.
It's very nice. And you just want to be able to hunt here.
The cabin was built by me. The springs were set up by me. Well, to be fair, I found them mostly like that. And the routes to beneath the ground are protected by me. Yes, that's all I seek, is to live here in my peace, enjoying my life as I have. Go ahead, Syndra.
Syndra here needed a spot for a druid grove.
Yeah, I know Syndra was going to say something, so that's what I'm asking.
I did need a spot for a druid grove, but I don't know if I want to contend with an elder demon for the spot, as I just stare at the guy.
Kind of gives a slight nod, goes, you know what I am. That will make this much easier then. Allow me to simply explain. Odger's dealings with me were both in training and in what I saw at his court, as well as amongst the other courts. I offered him my service to not tell the local king about this, as well, and I will keep that deal, and even with him being dead. But, as well as I would help maintain these areas. While I do this, and after training him, I only wish for that to maintain the same dealings. I'm happy to offer the same offering of turning a blind eye to whatever ill-gotten deeds you choose to do. Should you choose to kidnap defenseless peasants, should you choose to invite evil wizards, it is none of my concern, so long as the land stays at peace.
Well, I planned on keeping the land at peace. I'm trying to make sure the country doesn't implode.
He nods.
I think he's specifically referring to this small forest area.
This area specifically.
Well, this is a part of the entire country. If the rest of the land implodes, this place is gonna get filled with dragons.
You're not
or wolves.
familiar with this area, are you, young James?
I only recently came into it. I'm from. About how far away is the, for my own knowledge, my own land?
A few days from the for the Frostbusters. About
Yeah.
7 days from where you are, roughly south.
I'm originally from about a week south.
Ken nods at that and goes, "Well, your history should teach you that these are the territories of the long, ill and forgotten hags, once buried under their kingdoms, protecting the magics of their ancestors. And I wish to make sure they continue to be undisturbed, for if one of them rises like those ill-gotten, older generations would wish, the world would see a calamity once more, and I don't wish to live through 2 in my lifetime."
Then I have no problem. I ask that you assist in finding a good spot in this area for Syndra's Druid Grove.
Leave that up to Syndra. They might not want
If they would,
Druid here
if
anymore.
Syndra's willing to have your assistance.
Please
And what
don't
can you
tell
train
me-
in?
Please don't tell me this hag ground is why there are 2 basically demonic factions in the country that moved in recently. Please don't tell me why.
He raises an eyebrow and goes, "I don't know about any demonic factions. I can only tell you that those who advise your lords, kings, and most of your rulers of importance have been infested by those of the older generation who believed themselves far more beyond than what they truly were."
How close were you to the Clouded Age proper?
That is
You
not
would
a
have-
question you should ask anyone of my age.
I'm simply checking before I say something that I don't know if you'd know about.
And you asking if I recognize the House of Ice on you? The chill you bring
No.
to a room?
Surprisingly, I was going to ask if you recognize the House of Morin.
I do.
Yeah, they decided to move in the last few years into this country.
I know. It is
Scurrying
none
like
of my
the rat.
business. And you call
the
them rats? That concerns me more. But, as he turns back to James, if our deal is concluded, I will happily offer my assistance should it be requested by the druid who wishes to set a grove. Otherwise, I will continue my duties while I am here. If you ever need me, you may reach out to me. But let me make clear, I do not speak over your filthy spells, nor do I have an interest in anything other than in-person communications. I do not trust the younger races or the elders to not interfere.
I am perfectly fine with that arrangement, and should you need something from me, you are welcome to come find me.
Peace.
You spoke of you trained Augur Stronghelm.
That is correct.
I also follow the path of using a bladed weapon. Perhaps you could show me a thing or two. I'd be very interested to see what insights you have
The
from such a
training.
old being.
Ken nods at that and goes, "The training I offer would not do you well. You would fail within days. You do not have the mental factitudes to need it."
And how might I gain that?
Years, centuries of wisdom, battle experience. Who knows? I am not one to see the future, for that is not what my family was known for.
Thank you for your advice.
He nods. Indeed, Grasshopper.
Where's
this guy's
blood beard?
Looks at James and goes, "With that, I leave you. It was good advised of you not to bother the captain. My hound can be quite a handful when he gets excited.
And if we have disturbed any of your hunts, I apologize.
It was necessary for the things to move forward as they are expected. I wish you luck in your future hunts, James. Sleep well while you're in these lands, knowing no other creatures should bother you, as he kind of gives a sly glance at Syndra. Kind of gives a light bow, and then kind of excuses himself, closing the door behind him as he quietly leaves the ship, vanishing almost into a mist as he disappears.
I bow as well.
I give him a polite nod as he leaves.
Yeah. As the three of you are left now standing in the captain's quarters, kind of looking about, looking at the door as he vanishes out of sight. What would you all like to do?
Well, the land has a good guardian.
Yeah. What is he? What was he? You say, Syndra? Like a some
Elder
sort of
demon.
Elder
Elder
demon.
demon?
What does that
Yes.
mean?
A demon born after the Clouded Age.
Oh.
He
That's
could
like
be
a title.
he could be well over 1,000,000 years old.
Oh,
He probably is.
interesting.
But we need rest.
So,
Because you wanted to see, and Syndra, you wanted to run your test on the ones that are sick with a vial of the water.
yes, I'll go do that off the ship with one of them. Wouldn't want me to spill on the ship, and who knows what happened.
Let's
And
know,
then I have
what you
these
find in
bodies
that.
to set into the... Well, actually, since we did two jobs here, we should be able to head home afterwards.
I mean, we already found out who lives in the cabin, so don't need to really head back unless we get more something from the water. So
Well, I have no doubt that he won't mind that. Because
yeah,
we are
I'm not-
trying to keep the peace.
Mhm.
Well, I'm off to kidnap a sick frost giant.
Alright. Are you doing it before you get your level up, or are you going to do this in the morning?
Let's do it in the morning in case something goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I was going to say, you really got a chance going back there right now with James like half dead and Rolliman not wanting to fight you?
Well, I'm not going back. I'm gonna have one drink one of the vials first before.
That's fair. Well, you didn't want to do it on the ship. You wanted to do it down when you have, and you want to do it when you have all your spell slots. I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A good idea.
All right.
Nap time.
Yeah, as you all begin take your long rest, and the DM thinks that we should take a quick 5-minute break to grab some water and do whatever needs to be done. So we'll be back in a quick moment for those viewing at home. We are back as the party has done their level up in the night that they were told about. Last week during a session, we didn't. However, we didn't know how long this combat would go on, and thus leveling up didn't make sense last fight. However, as we return back, the party spending the night relaxing. Syndra, Rolliman, and James. All three of you give me wisdom or will saves, please, as the night goes on.
It just got better at these.
So did I. Is this a spell?
This is not.
I will use an immediate action to switch this out for a concentration check.
Okay.
So with a plus 15 to will saves, it's a 28.
Okay. Alright. Rolliman and Syndra, you have peaceful dreams, enjoying your night, relaxing, nothing happening. James, as you find yourself kind of dozing off, Hammer and Forge kind of sleeping nearby, you kind of find your pillow and relax and begin to kind of look about. It goes quiet, the room gets dark. It becomes more and more fluffy as clouds begin to flow into the room almost. Little purple clouds they smell like lavender. It's a nice, mild, chilling 30 degrees out, which to you is just a perfect temperature as you step down off your bed onto the clouds. like fluffy shag carpeting that doesn't feel weird between your toes.
Kidnapped.
James's inner monologue immediately going off as a little bubble comes above James's head of him as you look, James, of you being kidnapped by a random monster that you don't even know. It's just depicted as a shadow.
Son of a fucking bitch.
You hear in the distance, well, that's interesting. As you look over and you see this beautiful green woman in a glimmering dress kind of standing there. What looks to be a few red flowers kind of shooting out of the top of her head, glimmering themselves with the color of honey, almost dripping from them like with little droplets all upon that seem to shimmer. And she looks over at you and goes,
Cannibala.
You know, it's not often that I see such a simple imagination.
I'm very creative when it comes to what I work on, but I've been through a lot.
Paranoia kills the cat, and the creativity does not bring it back.
The cat's kind of the problem, specifically a red one, but that's beside the point. How may I help you?
I am who you think, and I am just here to let you know I am interested in you. And as she kind of begins to explain the deal that Caleb sent you already, I believe.
That I would have technically gotten months ago, yeah.
Technically yes and technically no, because of how the dream rules work, and you'll kind of find this out, and it'll explain why Goose has been absent from Monday for a little while. As you though kind of hear this deal, agreeing to it, give me a spot check, James, to see if you notice anything else as the connection begins to fade. Cinder is a very angry cat when woken up.
23, as I will
23?
also tell Cannibal. We'll be there as soon as we can. We have, like, 3 other stops to deal with.
She kind of nods in understanding. You notice out of the side of your eye 3 other figures that kind of just happen to catch your attention as things start to go dark. 3 shadows, but they're refined enough to make out. One looks to be a female humanoid, roughly about maybe 6 foot-ish. One looks to be a male, maybe 8-9 feet, and bulky, muscular as all hell. And the last seems to be some figure that's just too hard to make out, as you find yourself kind of awakening back in the room as you cold sweat on kind of going down your face as you look about, seeing that the dream has cleared.
I'm going back to sleep.
James breathes heavily, realizing, hey, it wasn't an evil creature trying to eat him this time.
Kidnapped. You know what? This is a win.
Comes down and goes back to sleep. Rolls over, cuddles up to his teddy bear, and goes back to sleep.
No, it's not a teddy bear. It is a plush dwarf.
BK?
Dwarf. No, it was gonna be a plush dwarven boar.
Oh,
Those
okay.
really small, cute ones that are actually horrifying.
A lot better than what I thought you were gonna go with. It goes back to sleep. Dream repeats again. Right now, actually, funny enough, do give me another will save. James,
God
as you go
damn
back
it.
to sleep.
A second dream.
More people want to talk.
Reach out to
This is like-
your car's in kind of warranty.
Right.
25.
So it's funny you mentioned that. So you hear as you wake up and find yourself sitting in a classroom and see a bunch of students kind of filling in, all what look like wizards. And James, you get the weirdest feeling, like you haven't been here before, but you recognize this place for some weird, strange reason. Looking out the window on the side, seeing nothing but clouds, a individual comes walking in. This, what looks to be draconic, kobold-kin, dragon-kin individual with their glimmering black scales as they come stepping up in front of the class. Their leather armor seemingly almost of an adventurer's gear as you find yourself in this classroom at one of the round desks. That seems to be more like a long chunk of desk with 3 other students to either side of you.
Does this look like a member of the Black Hand?
Give me a knowledge history check.
Why do people gotta interrupt my sleep?
Because you're a popular fella.
They're not. You're currently sleeping.
It's true, you're sleeping. It's just not a restful sleep.
I'm blaming this on me gaining the Oracle
No,
domain with this rest.
Nice knowledge checks all of today, man.
7, man. As you kind of look at him, not really recognizing this individual, he kind of looks at you and goes, James! Glad to see you could join us for our class. You know, when you had failed the last 2 tests, I was quite concerned for your well-being in our higher education here. I hope that you'll be joining us for this test today and not just running out like you usually do to go pretend to be a merchant somewhere else.
I am a merchant, though. Fairly successful.
Oh, and as the class kind of starts giggling and snickering again, and the teacher stands up and goes, there he goes again, all about his imaginary friend Rolaman and his supposed demonic aunt, Asindra. Like, James, your parents pay high dollar for you to get an education here. Do you not understand what the Frostbuster clan has done for you?
Memory flashbacks to everything, all the problems. Yes, I do, and it's a lot of problems that I don't want to deal with, but I'm fucking dealing with it.
Sir, young man, watch your language in my classroom. And so the kids start snickering again. He goes, you are going to the principal's office right this moment, and you will be expelled if I have it my way, for how terrible. I don't care how much your family may pay for all these things. You may condone in a building for all I give a damn. You will be out of my school by the end of the day.
Who the hell are you, and why are you bothering me in my sleep?
I am your teacher, good sir, and I don't know about your sleep, but you will not sleep through one of my classes again.
I'm gonna lay down on the table.
As you do, give me a fortitude save. Or sorry, reflex save, rather.
Fuck you.
See, this entire campaign is just a dream, so that we give appropriate
Yeah.
introduction for this new character.
Oh.
No, yeah, this is all to mess with Cameron. None of these characters are real. Me and Grubby have been waiting to play our real characters until he realized he had to push it. He's never real.
Yeah, James, as you kind of, or as you put your face down, it begins to heat up like a stove as you immediately begin to feel the burn pulling your cheek off the nice little grill print on the side of it, and the teacher kind of canceling his spell as your desk stops glowing, and the other students kind of point and laugh, and he goes, as the teacher goes, as I said, I have been allowed or permitted by your father and your uncle. The Frost Furies were quite enthusiastic about it, in fact, to engage in full classical punishment. So you will listen, and you will be escorted by the constructs in the hallway that will take you to the principal's office right this moment, young man. As you feel a light telekinetic hand on your back. Good.
I'm just gonna get up and walk, mentally making a note of next time I need to make something so that for Dream Realms I can just show up in my armor and say fuck everything.
James, as you look down, you're wearing your armor.
Oh, okay. This is fine then.
But what if it's a dream, and this is the real reality?
Right. You walk out.
If this is the real reality, then I'm very upset that I've lost millions of gold.
Wait, doesn't care about his
That's what
friends.
think of?
All the people that died under his camp, not what he's concerned about. Jesus Christ, you animal! What is wrong with you?
If it was a dream, then they didn't actually die.
It's true. As you walk out into the hallway, you see these what James would perceive as what he dreams about constructs at being from the vague stories that people are left with of these metal monsters of pieces that all kind of moved. And as you look up, James, it's like a giant circular chest plate with gears that seem to shift at a very sporadic movement. The heads and arms seem to be very janky and move kind of almost clumsily. But as they
This would give me a bad idea for a set of armor.
Right? As you start to kind of follow them, eyeing them up, concerned, looking in one of the other hall, down the hall, there's lockers of metal with what looks to be little combination locks as you look at them. Walking past one of the doors with what looks to be a small window, you can see Syndra teaching in a class as a bunch of young dragonkin seem to be playing casting ice magic in the room as they try to mimic Syndra's spell. So you kind of continue past, heading what looks by a large building with two metal doors. One of them seems to open as a student kind of runs through, and as you look, you see what looks to be a man that looks almost identical from Rollman from behind, and as he turns, his large beard got kind of hanging out, a whistle in his mouth, and what looks to be a heavy sweater and gym shorts.
Dream about the modern day middle school experience, Royce.
You get this joke, don't worry. As you kind of look at this, seeing Roman wondering, seeing his like little long mustache, it's just a little too off. It just bothers you, and I hate that you described that as middle school because this is what high school is like for me. But as you kind of follow them, finally being brought to the front office, the door kind of opens up, and what looks to be Jakix is just sitting there, his head completely shaved bald, a really sad-looking goatee that just looks like it's an attempt to look younger on his face. His glasses kind of put back. Is he the
principal or is he the secretary?
He looks at you and you realize he is the secretary as the actual principal kind of steps out of a side room, opening the door that wasn't there a moment ago, and you see Kaijin kind of just standing there, a cup of coffee in his hand as he leans in and goes, "James! The fourth time this week. Alright." As he opens the door and offers to guide you in.
I'm walking in, rubbing the bridge of my nose, just very slowly getting annoyed.
Head in, sitting down in one of the leather-bound chairs. You see as he kind of goes and sits across from you. A thick oak desk, a cup with number 1 dad written on it, a picture of him with what looks to be young Jakix, who is trying to steal something from him and aggressively trying to get away angrily while Kaijin's just smiling and laughing, holding it with very little work. You look over at him, kind of takes a sip of his coffee as he puts it down, looks at you and goes, "So," as he kind of interlocks his fingers and goes, "James, how did you figure out this was a dream?"
Well, I woke up from a different dream, rolled over and went back to sleep and was here.
Yes, but I tried to mimic something that
this doesn't make any sense.
It totally kind of looks, turns and gets up as he goes to pull up one of the filing cabinets that seems to appear behind him, almost out of the wall, and pulls it open, flips through to a file.
That doesn't make sense.
Looks over
as
at
it just appears.
Goes, "Oh, and now that's cheating." As he pulls out a file and you see your name written on it in bold letters as the thing closes, and he sets it on the table and you see the corkboard, you see a picture of yourself.
Instead of threatening children, that's stage 1.
As you kind of say that, looking down, you see what looks to be a layout of the different ships kind of blueprinted in the file as it kind of displays out a picture of you when you were young making your first deal with Rollerman to sign him on as part of your company and as your friend. Couple of pictures of you fighting in the different battles you've been in. The sadness of your grapple with the Bone Drinker, as you kind of note that out of a note with an X on it, kind of done in a red Sharpie as he looks up at you and goes, "You know, I was told you were dumber than a sack of sand, but I'll give you credit. The fact that you understood that this wasn't proper truly is impressive. Most people aren't able to comprehend the change here, as they can't break away when I bring them into my realm. But I understand and appreciate a capable mind every once in a while, even if you are not the brightest. A dull, capable mind is still quite fascinating. May I ask how you were able to do something of such sort? I mean, you must be powerful beyond measure compared to what this file says, because all it states is only able to make an honest deal, which, I won't lie, is most of the reason we think you're dull. And You know, here it shows that for some reason you have the luck of a god. I mean, like, I don't know what this is. I've never seen the amount of luckiness that you have. The Rollerman thing was a 1 in a million chance. You realize, like, that you were not supposed to meet him.
I've realized that this is most likely my best timeline. If I were to shift out of it, I'd be dead. In a ditch between the Frostbeard Lands and Dragon's Gate from bandits.
Kind of nods at that as he kind of lightly rubs his goatee and goes, I appreciate you realizing that then. But that leaves me with a lot of questions on your file and not much time to ask them, unfortunately, as your compatriots refused my interest and kept themselves willingly away from their own dreams. Quite an interesting feat of their own, but not an incapable one. But where are my manners? I didn't even introduce myself, did I, James? Here I am, stating your name as if we know each other on a first-name basis. I don't know what you would call me, though, as it's...
You currently look like the Morin known as Kaijin.
Oh, yes. Yeah, familiar face that was, of capability equivalent to me was the only way I could show a simpler form. You know what? I have an easy one that you'll recognize as he, like, slightly, you'll see as he rubs his face and he starts to change to your grandsire.
Little creepy, but alright. What do you need? And I'm gonna say this. I don't think I should answer questions for free.
Oh, don't
Given
worry.
that you have the power to pull me away from my own dreams.
You know, it's funny. I didn't have access to the material plane until recently when those who entered the dreamscape finally unbroke my chains, letting me loose. A individual that I guess some would call it fate. I don't think that's an accurate term, though. I think chance is probably a more accurate phrase that you snowbeards would use. Luck
Dumb luck.
would be a good one. Dumb, I would not necessarily say, as I am not a god, but capable of such powers, at least in my own realm. Not many gods have their own plane, for that matter, and few have this many connections to so many mortals. I'm quite proud in that. But let's go with, Dr. Chance. I like that. Your memory serves that doctors are a capable understand of a great intelligence beyond what most average individuals, even of adventuring capability, seem to have. So let's use that term.
Alright, Doctor.
I am interested in you, and I want to know. You don't want to be a demon, but yet you have every ounce of power. Why would you turn down the chance to gain power far beyond what your cousin, aunt, whatever you wish to call her, has managed to accumulate? I mean, truly, you could kill Needmancer eventually, take his own ability and his mantle, and rule over all who have wronged you. I know you don't like those Red Lady pirates, and they have a slot amongst them. Why not use the power for that?
I don't even know if they're alive at this point. Last I heard they were heading to an island of death. But, put it simply, I've seen what demons can do. I've seen what divine can do, as I pat my own armor. If I were to go one way, I'd lose a balance.
True.
I'd have to choose a path that I don't really want to be forced into. It was best, I think, and plus, let's also throw in that I'm an oddity in itself for being able to accumulate divinity while being demon-blooded.
Okay, looks at you for a second and nods and goes, this is all true. An oddity.
I'd rather forge a new path, as any smith should.
Interesting. Well, I consider myself a neutral party in the games that are being played out, just enjoying as an observer, long since losing my own game, if you will. So, how about this? You've answered my question and satisfied my interest. I will let you go, and I will give you a gift. Call it an interest in your future.
I'll call it an investment then, since you seem interested in what will happen.
Oh, but the dreams of mortals of your level are always to be interested in. Good luck, young James. And remember, it's all coming freezing down on you. As you feel yourself kind of clouding and everything going dark and reawakening once again in another cold sweat. This time, as you look up, seeing Rolliman and Syndra, who are looking at you with a bit of concern as you kind of notice it's outside with the sun up. It's got to be at least mid-morning at this point.
Weird things. I'm gonna look around. Is
Hey.
there like a gift box sitting somewhere?
There is not, but Syndra and Rolliman, you do both notice the mark on the back of James's neck is gone.
Mm. What's our POV of, like,
Oh,
how
hey.
did we get here?
As you two woke up about 2 hours earlier, Rolliman about 4 hours earlier, as a very morning training individual. Having gotten up, being awoken for breakfast by the catfish as well amongst the rest of the crew, he pointed out that James's room wasn't opening, which is rare, as James almost always leaves his door open when Hammer and Forge are sleeping within. As you were not able to seemingly get the door open until just a few moments ago, after about 2 hours of waiting, knocking, pounding, trying to get the door open, and hearing James not screaming but making strange noises as if he was yelling at something. Until finally the door seemed to open, and James, as you look down, was kind of opening his eyes in a heavily cold sweat, his bed soaked, and Hammer and Forge looking at him in fear.
What happened in here?
I made no deals, but kind of all invited us to her land. And then I can't say asshole, he was actually kind of neutral and didn't jerk me around much, calling himself Dr. Chance. Yoinked me out of my next dream, and... Do we have any more coffee?
I sigh as I start writing on a notepad for the corkboard.
I asked for more
Doctor-
coffee.
As you write the name down on the corkboard, the name does not tick and vanishes almost immediately.
Oh, great. Great.
He said he was just a watcher of this game, and that he had no stake in anything, but found me interesting.
You said he
Okay,
was in your dreams?
Yeah, some weird building with metal cabinets with strange locks, a classroom with a black
We're gonna-
kobold teaching.
What
We're
was
gonna
it?
try
You were
dream.
teaching a classroom.
Oh,
Guts.
Someone looking like a fat Rollerman was in another building.
Middle-aged.
middle-aged, not
With
fat.
Well, beer belly. I mean, technically.
Oh, Ro would call that fat.
It's fair.
With a weird spindly mustache.
That could be me.
A shaved Jakik serving as a secretary.
Oh, that's funny.
He had a goatee still, but, you know,
Don't
shaved
say
head.
his... You'll summon him, knowing him.
In the distance.
Please stop saying the names of important people. Please.
In the distance,
And then-
Jakix gets a little tinge on his left ass cheek as he feels James.
And then
mention
the
his name.
first was the original form Dr. Chance took before taking the form of Grandsire.
Oh, the first. He makes another appearance. That's awesome. I don't like that guy.
It's not awesome.
That was sarcasm.
Roland looks back at
He shifted his
Syndra.
appearance to Grandsire when I expressed the discomfort at the first.
Okay. Doesn't change the fact that that's who it was, right?
Then just asked me a few questions and said he'd give me a gift as payment.
Well, yeah, I see what the gift is. Your mark is clean. Your neck is clean.
As I reach back and touch, it's gone, and James goes,
I don't think you can feel a mark like that, but you know. Fair enough.
No, but he would feel the burning from the magic itself, but not the mark itself. So it'd just be a hot spot in a sense for him.
But no longer.
Correct.
that's the best gift I've gotten.
You know that means he's probably stronger if he wanted to like destroy everything, right?
He seemed very aloof, but interested in just watching.
Yeah, so did the eldest Morin until...
He also seemed to enjoy me, so...
I imagine Cinder just creates a little ice sculpture in her hand of Kaijin, like, kicking James in the balls, basically.
Cinder's sitting here like, so do most power people before they kick us in the balls. Like...
Well, he said he wouldn't be doing much else. He's just
Yeah.
going to watch. So we'll
know,
take that as it is for now.
I think the first said that one, too. Then he threatened to kill us.
Yeah.
As James starts
I
to
don't
count
know.
as James starts to count on his finger how many times that someone's tried to threaten to kill him at this point.
He also had his own realm, apparently, that was odd that I was able to realize I was in it.
His own realm. What does that mean? Realm.
His own space. Are you of the mind of the theory that gods can create their own divine space?
No.
Place
Oh
for
my
them.
god, now that's a question for you, Roland.
Well, I am now, I guess.
Yeah, do gods actually exist? Not do you believe in the gods? No, do you understand that gods can create their own space? Like,
I've
what?
seen a god.
Look, I think of the fact that I'm tied to a Sarah 90 plus being and it doesn't have its own space. So Cinder thinks, no.
Yeah.
Concerned.
Explain that to me, James. I don't know what you're getting at. Yeah, I know about the gods and stuff.
Essentially, it had its own.
Yeah, whatever. But
As James thinks. James, give me an intelligence check. I'm gonna help you a little.
I was gonna compare it immediately to Dracothek's ability to open up a new fortress.
I haven't met that.
Yeah, you haven't
we
seen
have been
that.
told about it.
Yeah, you've been
Sure.
told, but the
Doesn't-
concept of it, yeah.
It doesn't change the fact I've never seen it, so I don't know. Can't really imagine it that well.
Like comparing something, like telling a caveman comparing.
All right, James. As you look at Rollman, the only thing that you come to mind is it's like a bag of coining. That's the only thing, the best comparison you can come
I have
up
a
with.
better comparison actually as a player.
Go ahead.
These rooms.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a
They're
different
their own
dimension there,
space.
right? Yeah.
And it changes based on what you want when you open the door.
Yeah.
It's akin to that.
That doesn't sound like it's
Okay,
very.
so it's a
powerful.
30-foot by 30-foot cube. Got it.
Cinder just kind of like starts drawing this
Larger
out.
And a lot stronger.
What do you mean stronger? What do you mean by that?
What the hell does stronger mean for a realm?
Like you saw when I turned the room into all fire and all water and stuff, and there was like deep rooted
I was
horrors in
able
that
to-
water room.
Right, the walk from the classroom to the principal's office was roughly what? A good 30 minutes?
To you, it would have been a few minutes at most. But like in time comparison in this realm, it would have been like a few hours.
I was able to spend a few minutes walking from one room to another, uninterrupted and led by my dream idea of a construct. So,
Okay.
take that as you will.
You know there's creatures that mess with your perception of time.
I think that realm itself does, because it had something to do with dreams. Kanabala also pulled me into one. I thought I was getting kidnapped.
Rolliman and Syndra. Rolliman, give me a knowledge religion. Syndra, give me a knowledge nature.
What is this for?
This is to see if you can comprehend what James is talking about. Like if there's anything that kind of hits or registers in your head of an individual.
Fortunately, I am as usual smoking noise, so I have a negative to this.
That's a 20.
20, okay. Perfect. 22. Alright, so for the knowledge religion, Rollman, you remember when walking around amongst the troops in your youthful days, when you were still like learning as an apprentice mercenary, kind of, able to join but never able to be part of the vanguard, sadly, as you always dreamt of being. Now, wishing those dreams didn't come true sometimes. As you remember back, there were mention of some of the men amongst the mercenary camp that were clerics, but they were too an abstract thing. Many of them described as a being that just came in their dream, but all of them similarly always had a look of someone they knew. almost, but cognitive, if you will, in a sense. Like when you're in a dream, it's almost as if everyone else that you talk to in a dream doesn't realize they're in a dream. In this sense, these soldiers explain that this person recognized that they were and was able to talk back. Giving them powers to most oftentimes come back to life from near-death experiences. Some cases gaining immense strength in the best of times. One example, you saw a guy suddenly grow 3 times his size and take down a castle gate with his bare hands. However, every time afterwards, the cost of these individuals seemed to be that they could no longer sleep, eventually driving them mad and having to be killed because of it.
Interesting.
For Syndra, knowledge nature-wise, there used to be rumors of a plane that existed not long before Abaddon ever came to be a perspective, when Moors and Paradise only existed, a realm that was created by the creation of life itself. In a sense, a realm and a domain that was always everlasting, because all creatures slept and all creatures dreamed. Thus, a realm was supposedly came to be, and there used to be once druids who served this kind of a grove, though many of them were hunted and wiped out for their danger, as most of them were lesser demons, like yourself and like James, meaning that they were demon-blooded. Most often, these dream druids were dangerous and nefarious individuals who used it to control many of people, like necromancers in a sense, but controlling people in their sleep, putting some people even in perma-sleeps, like a coma, to use their powers. Long, thankfully, have they been dead and wiped out, as not many are capable of finding those kind of arts anymore. However, there was believed to be, when that realm was created, a creature that rose up to take control of it, though not many know what it was. Some say it's supposedly one of these now what they're calling lawbearers, that like the lawbearer of greed, or a lawbearer of gold that is served in Purser's last hold. Some believe that it's some sort of ancient demon that figured out its way into its own domain and just conquered it by raw power. Some say it's a slod that literally just evolved there and somehow popped in and took over. No one really knows, but everyone notes its shape-shifting form and its power over the domain itself without challenge.
James, it might not be the first. There's similar stories to like this dream thing you had from my early days. Of like it just whatever this god, whatever it might be, a god or whatever, as you're saying, with these domains or something. It might just have taken that form because you know that person.
I think that's what it was. Anyways, as I look to Hammer and Forge, are you two okay? Did I do anything weird?
They both look at you for a second and go, and kind of like slowly shake their head up and down, as Hammer kind of looks up at you and goes, in common, "You ripped your neck off, and then ate it."
What?
Oh my god.
He ripped the skin, just tore a muscle off his neck, and then chewed on it. Fucking, I've never seen something in my life that was that terrifying. And it wasn't quite. He screamed as he did it, bloody murder. As the Thryking looks on in horror and terror in his eyes.
Well, I'm okay.
That's the scary part.
Remember doing that?
That's even scarier. We yelled at you.
I know
We poked you.
sleepwalker's a thing, but
I threw an iron
Happy
bar
birthday,
at
dog.
you.
I look beside me. Is there an iron bar?
There's an iron bar. There's a dagger that is technically has blood on it, and that you, as well as a hammer that looks to be slightly dented. James, you're pretty sure they throw full smithing tools at you, basically, and it bounced off.
I'm looking
You know
for the
what?
tongs.
You know what? It's too fucking early. As you're walking.
Cinder walking out, going and getting their tea. The guy's sitting down with the crew to enjoy the caffeinated tea.
it's very interesting though.
Well-
Some sort of, I guess maybe it was a god.
Well,
Talk to you?
well, hopefully he just enjoys watching and doesn't bother us again. And doesn't cause me to do something like that again.
I hope you can still sleep. I mutter under my breath.
You hear Hammer and Forge both looking like immediately and quietly go, I agree with him. As you guys head out into the rest of the, or into the main quarters of the crew, as you see kind of one of the men kind of grabbing up hay from underneath one of the shelves to take down below to feed the animals and start taking care of it, because of course you got your little stable set up down at the bottom floor. The catfish cooking up what looks to be some sort of veggie stew for breakfast. Not something really hefty, as he kind of hands you and Rollman and James platters of what looks to be this doughy bread with a brown liquid on it that smells quite sweet, and kind of begins to work on the stew as he pours you up plates to bring over.
Catfish made donuts.
Technically,
Amazing.
these are pre-pancakes. Because it is a pancake, but not in the sense of how we know how to make them today. I found a recent medieval baking video. Again, I find weird videos when I'm sitting out on my couch in the evenings. And so yeah, there's as you take a bite out of them, they're slightly oniony. And you do taste a little bit of the bitterness, but with the sweet syrup taste and the slight alcohol tingent to it, it almost tastes like a little bit sour sweet mead, as you kind of enjoy the flavor. As these are what we call onion bread pancakes.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Syndra, have you done your experiment for that water?
No, you were kind of yelling and freaking out in your sleep before I did it.
As you see, like, kind of a little bit of bags under Cinder's eyes from being woken up before the sun got up.
I'll keep an eye on James. Go do that.
Apologize.
I'll go do it once I eat.
All right. After that, if it does work, we can walk them there and get them healed up. And if it doesn't, we can head back to town.
As James kind of cuts into the pancake, you watch as the roundness to it completely flattens down and expands out like a proper pancake. The liquid inside slightly thin, but you do see some sort of smell, or you do smell something and recognize the coffee bean scent as you kind of cut into it. Realize these are basically coffee cream stuffed pancakes.
Because says tiramisu. It's a very traditional Elvish dish.
As Roman kind of shows this and kind of then describes a bit more refined version of this that's done a bit more professionally, realizing the elves are quite great cooks. Like, they're gourmets for people who eat human flesh.
Mm-hmm.
I found the word. They're griddle cakes.
Griddle cakes, that's it. That's what they're called, yeah. But as you kind of enjoy the breakfast, the black tea kind of set aside for in a pitcher for each of you to kind of enjoy as the coffee. This is the last of the coffee that you're kind of enjoying.
Ask for Kanabala to make an infinitely sprouting coffee bean or something.
Right. As the crew seems to kind of take the veggie stew for the most part, kind of enjoying that, as many of them do not seem interested in this foreign food that kind of bothers many of the giants.
There's no time.
Well, I imagine they could pick it up with with 2 fingers and just pop it in like a frickin' macaron.
Yes, but to them this is a strange new food as they recognize the veggie gruel, and you watch as they get this, like, what best described as like a veggie puree with a couple of like chunks of carrot and occasionally like red and tomato in there. Otherwise, it looks like a green paste. That would be more accurate to say it looks like slop in the traditional sense. But the giants seem to enjoy it as they go and kind of lap it up. Yeah. As you lot enjoy your breakfast, though, a few time kind of going by for the next hour as you lot kind of eat. Cinder, you said you wanted to go do something?
I gotta take one of the sick giants, and we're gonna see if this helps.
All right. I assume James and Roman...
You're gonna grab someone.
Yeah.
Go pick a sick man at random.
Oh my god.
I assume James and Roman are going to be watching from the above deck as this happens to make sure nothing comes. Okay.
See if we can glean, something from it.
Yeah, as Cinder kind of like starts walking through. Cinder, give me a spot check and let's see what you if you find someone particularly
Let's
that
see
catches your
which
attention.
giant has the worst hide.
Which sick man's gonna fail to hide from me?
Which sick man is the worst off? Let's find out.
All right, I have a plus 12. That's a 25.
You notice in the corner one of the older crew members is hacking up hard as he is not looking good. He's slightly pale, and you can see his fingers are already starting to blacken as he looks over. One of his teeth missing, and you see he looks to be recognizing him as one of the senior members of the Frost Giant crews. He's been raiding, according to the side stories, as long as O'Garin has been alive. Not one of O'Garin's crews, but that experience is something that is not willingly lost as you kind of notice him as one of the worst off amongst the crew.
All right, he's first. It's all hobble.
As you go to kind of grab him without much of an explanation, as he sees James and Rolliman, you can see the suddenly kind of concern that he's in trouble. He seems to follow without much complaint as he kind of watches and eyes Rolliman warily. The old man seems to have basically what looks to be... Go ahead.
Does he look like he wants an explanation?
Doesn't look like... Well, he's not asking for one as he's following Cinder willingly. He just looks... He's just watching Rolliman warily, as any sailor probably would if he's suddenly being pulled off the ship. Especially when you're old and slightly dying, that's a good chance you're being Old Yellard. So this guy looks like he's... From what you can tell, it seems he's kind of comprehended the situation and thinks he's about to die. As he follows Cinder up and kind of down the ship, kind of following down the ladder as he kind of climbs down. Rolliman and James kind of stopping at the top. Yeah, go ahead.
Once we're away from everyone, because that's why I wasn't explaining, because I don't want to be like, so you're dying in front of the entire crew.
That's fair. Yeah, as he kind of gets down to the snow, it kind of steps off. He takes a deep breath of the snow and looks over at you.
We're going to see if this helps with your affliction, as it were, as I pull out one of the small bottles.
He nods and this.
Of water, not blood.
Yeah, of water. Well, obviously.
He looks up at James and looks back down at Cinder and then looks at the vial and goes, I assume I could die if I drink it? So he speaks in a really broken common.
I mean, I'll speak giant. It shouldn't. It has healing properties.
He starts to speak. It's not giant, as you know. It's a bit of an older tongue, but it's close enough to where you can understand the majority of what he's saying. As he nods and goes, "All right, I'll drink it. Got nothing left to lose, anyways." As the dangly bits froze off about an hour ago.
Oh
man.
Damn.
Oh no.
Leans
I'm
down
sorry,
to
man.
take it and goes. As he hears James say that, and he goes, don't worry. I've got him in my coat pocket out next to my bunk. I'm going to turn it into a bag of coining."
Oh.
So ups the potion and downs it. And let me
What
have him
happened?
get a fortitude save.
Against the most powerful healing water we've ever found.
As he begins to, or as he drinks it, his body begins to almost kind of grow. His back kind of straightens at first as he kind of looks down at you and sputters a little bit and goes, "The taste is awful, like cat urine." As his back straightens up, his height seemingly coming back as you can hear the bones of his spine cracking. As you can also hear the sighs from him as it seems to happen. His right eye, that looks like it was clouded over from age, having gone blind long before, seems to completely clear as he blinks a few times and looks down at you. His teeth start to grow in, and his fingers start to regain their mobility. As immediately he smiles and looks at you and goes, kind of looks down, pulls out his leather breeches, and then sighs sadly as he looks down and goes,
Not a regeneration.
Not everything. He looks down at you and goes, "Is that a youthful potion, young lass? I must admit, Sindra, that stuff, I feel 20 years younger."
Do the black marks from disease recede at all? Or...
You do notice he does not seem to have any marks upon him, and he doesn't sound like he's coughing at all anymore either.
Do I need to make a heal check to be sure? Because
Yeah.
I don't want to walk in
Yes, please.
and be like, well, actually, he's still sick. We have plus 11 to heal. Yes, so that will be
Would
a
you like to
25.
have my... Okay, no.
Yep.
Uh,
So you
I
got
have good heal. Yeah, 25.
25. As you look him up and down, it looks like you've cured him. There's no disease. Also, in sadness, he does not have a bloodline. As you realize, as some two things comprehend, creatures without natural innate abilities that are being awakened seem to be naturally rejuvenated and healed. Those with abilities seem to naturally just the magic seems to go towards that and awakening it, not giving them the same healing effect.
I'll just nod and be like, it's something we came access to recently. We have enough of it. How many more sick crew members were there, DM, from last I saw?
I
Uh,
can tell you.
yeah, go ahead.
A fourth of our crew was entirely sick and down bad, really sick. Another quarter of it was just lightly sick.
I'm gonna have to get a lot more bottles of this liquid.
We do have about 100 vials, which would be more than enough.
Alright.
Probably ask
Bottle
how
and
many of them have a bloodline that they know of.
Might be important to ask as you think about it. As Cinder kind of looks at the guy, kind of looking him up and down for a moment. Thankfully, with it, as he kind of like looks at you as you contemplate this, and okay, Hank offers his hand and goes, "Well, hey, I'll help you gather up whatever water I can assist with. If we can get more of this stuff to the crew, I can get most of them pointed out to you, even the ones that be hiding the sickness, so that way you wouldn't kick them off the ship or kill them like we thought you would."
I'll nod and be like, I can gather what I need to cure. I'll just need them gathered outside after I get back with everything. James, can you get me the rest of the vials?
Yeah. Do you want 100? Do you want the whole 100, or do you want 50? Since it's only 2/4 of the crew, so and
Nah,
we
I'm gonna
have
wanna-
about 100 members.
We're gonna want to keep some of this anyway. Just grab them all.
All right. We'll have to pick up more vials and runes. We'll, as James will head down below and bring up the crate of vials.
As I'll
Okay.
pat the guy on his lower leg with the height difference and be like, enjoy your new youth, as you called it.
He nods and he goes, "Now I got both eyes. I can finally beat the little bastards in poker again." As he as you get the idea, Syndra, what he means is to poke an eye out, not in a card game.
I will work with that guy to gather up everyone
Okay.
that is sick,
Okay.
and I'll ask and see if anyone has bloodlines.
All
that
right.
I know of, and separate them.
As James kind of heads down to get the potion vial, Syndra kind of getting heading up to get the elevator ready for James, so he doesn't have to climb down. Or rather, he doesn't have to bring the vials down, I guess, at that point. As Rolleman heads down below with the gentleman. Rolleman, give me a diplomacy and a sense motive for that.
All right.
And then James and Syndra, I'll take a spot or a listen from either, or from both of you.
Do you want to do the listen, Syndra, since I can do?
You asking them if they're doing do listen?
You right?
It's such an evil laugh.
I know, right? He's got the DM evil laugh there.
I'm gonna have to train skill focus spot because I really just.
Okay, listen is 34 for Syndra. Rollman 10, and that's the diplomacy, and that's the sense motive. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
21 spot.
All right. Thankfully, Syndra and James, as each time you kind of start to notice a creature getting close, that seems to be kind of getting interested in the smell of the dead bodies that were left behind. Syndra, kind of noting this, seems to kind of give a look down, and you notice as one of the smaller flame brother salamanders seems to almost appear, chasing off the creature. As you two kind of head further in, thankfully being somewhat protected as you start gathering up the potions between the two of you.
I'm staying away from that water.
No, yeah, I assume you'd just be kind of setting the crate down, and then taking a 40-foot step back.
No, so I'm assuming the crates has little basically bottle marks where it holds the vials
Yep.
before they were taken out. So every time I fill a vial and wipe it off, I hand it to James to put in one of the marks, and we have a little train going.
Yep, wiping it off to make sure that James doesn't get hit with anything. Yep, I got you. As you two start kind of working on
I'm
that,
gonna go find a rubber tree and make some gloves real quick. Give me like 5 minutes.
Roland, Roland, as you head down below, kind of mentioning this amongst the crew, you see Glitterrock's eyes go wide at the mention of bloodlines. As the rest of the crew seems to kind of separate without much concern. There's, as you realize, only two crew members. As you recognize the dark-haired color or dark hair of the two frost giants, kind of stand off to the side. Pretty easy to recognize the hag bloodline, being that's a pretty predominant trait in any race is black hair. But Glitterrock seems to kind of be trying to stand on the opposite side with the rest of the crew that does not have bloodlines, as he kind of tries to hide himself, clearly indicating that he has something up.
Well, is he sick?
No, not at all. He is just trying not to be noticed as he goes and hides amongst the crew.
I already know he has a bloodline. I'm not stupid.
The thing I do is I gather when that's sick and then ask them who has a bloodline, not just everyone on the ship who has a bloodline.
Oh, okay.
Really funny. It's like he looks almost like glimpse. He's like, why are you in the line?
You're right next to a bunch of sick people, right?
You should just kind of see him like suddenly go nod and go, oh, that's what. As he kind of moves himself back to the back of the crew and heads back into the area. As the giants kind of start following you, the two kind of have set themselves aside who are sick, that seem to have hag bloodlines, kind of follow after. The rest seem to kind of, without concern, seem to follow you up onto the top of the ship and kind of down as you work with the two rough bloods to kind of lower them down in the pulley system. Little elevator. But yeah, as it goes on, a few minutes going by as this goes on, as James kind of comes back with Cindric carrying a crate with a bunch of vials complete with stoppers in them to ensure that James did not get splashed.
James holding his non-magical shield between them.
He's just got it strapped onto his chest, basically. As he looks like a helldiver with like the little face shield in front of him.
I look at Syndra. No chances. We both know I don't want my demon bloodline awakening.
Syndra kind of guiding James as they walk forward. As they kind of come up to the ship, getting up to the top of the hill. Much of the crew kind of being set up. You see as two of the frost giants kind of sat aside as Rollman kind of points to the crew who are sick.
All right.
These are aware of any bloodline they have. Those are the only two that are like we're sure on. So we can do one by one in case one of these
go
goes
through and do a check.
James, if you want to do a check, I'm gonna grab 2 vials and go deal with the 2 that have one. Because we're gonna see how this interacts before we do the rest of the crew.
All right, I will do a check for bloodlines then on people.
All right, you can give me a spellcraft or a knowledge arcana. It does matter
As
what you
I
choose.
supercharge myself with magic, I'm going to probably do. Which one would give me give me a more clear answer if I might know beforehand?
Knowledge arcana is going to give you more of a book sense. You're going to look at features that are common amongst the bloodlines, like that are written down. Like I said with the hag one as an example, black hair on any race, it doesn't regardless, is a dead giveaway for them having hag like blood. That would be what you'd be doing with Knowledge Arcana. Spellcraft would be sensing the blood itself to see if they have any dormant...
I'm going to do Spellcraft then, because that'll be the best way.
Alright.
As I get a plus 40 at 2062.
Oh my god, are you serious? Alright. Well, before we get to that, alright. As Syndra kind of steps over to the side to work with the 2 hag bloodlined frost giants, one of them looks down at you, kind of coughing as he does. Long black hair kind of dangling as his skin kind of glimmers a light blue. You can see his right hand has completely solidified from what looks to be frostburn as he kind of coughs and shivers a good bit more and looks at you and goes, "Is this gonna kill me, boss?"
It shouldn't. It cured the last guy.
And fantastic. As long as it don't kill me and I get my hand back. It's my favorite hand.
I'll hand him a vial.
As he takes a drink And as he does, you watch as his skin begins to glimmer and change to a blackened color. His eyes kind of going a darkened gold, and as you recognize his night hag bloodline fully awakening. However,
Oh,
the good news is he does lose his disease.
well, we just got a natural sorcerer of a hell. Night hags are dead, right? They're gone.
Yeah,
Like,
they're one of the few. There's most of the hag covens have been basically wiped out. There's only the bog, the ashen, green, and sea. I believe that are left.
and there was the Annis until recently because they
Yep.
just got killed.
Yep.
So
Oh God.
we got a hell of a bloodline. I look at the other one, and I'm just like size him up, I hand him the next one. I'm like, man, I wonder what hag he is.
As he drinks the thing, he gives off the same effect, turning into a night hag
Cool.
as well.
Wait, do their gender shift, or are they male night hags?
They are male night hags. They are hag spawn technically.
Okay. That means they don't get to. That
And
means
they-
they won't forcefully shift them alignments. That's
And
good.
They are still frost giants. To be fair, very clear.
As I look up and down, I'm like, I'll help you with your new magic.
As you see what the other one that you had just given the potion to kind of holds his hand out, and electricity shoots out and smacks into a tree, and he just looks at it with like surprise and excitement in his eyes.
I look over.
Yep.
I'll also help you guys. I do know enough about the
Well,
arcane.
I believe hag casters, are they arcane? Or are they divine?
Technically, they're arcane if they're sorcerers.
Tags aren't listed technically either way. They do get hag affinity, which I think is arcane because they are spell-like abilities, not supernatural. So
Let me see here. Night hag.
It is primarily arcane, although in rare cases they use divine.
yeah, because hags I don't think are divine casters naturally. But yeah, as you kind of look at these two kind of going about, and now as we jump back over to James, as you begin to sense James, about 3 more of them give off roughly what you would recognize as mountain giant bloodlines.
I'm gonna point at them and go over there,
Oh, they're gonna get
Um,
big.
and be prepared for a growth spurt.
Kind of nod at that as they follow over, kind of standing next to
Any
the
other
other two.
bloodlines at all?
Thankfully, no.
Hey,
Do I
James,
sense anything else odd with that nat 20? At
Um,
this point, I just want to know.
Do you really want the answer to that, James?
No, not really. When you ask that way, no.
When you say it like that, no, I do not.
No, I'm gonna say blissfully ignorant of the problems that's probably right around the corner.
James, one of the frost giants is giving off a majorly strange arcane effect, but you don't know what it is. And as you just stated, you as you notice, try to stay blissfully ignorant, ignoring it as you walk
It's
around.
a strange arcane effect. I'm gonna point him out and tell him, "You go be a little separate. We need to be careful. There's an odd effect on you."
He kind of nods and kind of walks over off to the side.
Hey, James, do I have a bloodline?
I'll look at Roland. Does he have a bloodline?
Alright, so I'm going to leave this for James to decide if he wants to tell you the truth or if he wants to lie to you. That will be fully up to him on whether or not he does.
Wait, I have a much more important question. Does Cinder have a bloodline?
Yes.
Fucking smart ass.
Demon.
You know I do. Start awakened.
Oh. Yes, Roland, you do, but I can't tell what it's from.
Why not?
I could tell you the two that it might be, but neither of them are great.
Sure, I don't mind. Fine,
It's either demon or titan.
that's fine. What
Don't
is the
drink the
Titan?
water.
As you kind of take a second, give me a knowledge, history, or nature, Rollman.
It's really funny. Gnar has a Titan bloodline.
I'll do nature.
Okay.
Never grew into it though.
9.
No.
Nine. So, Titans, from what is roughly known, were believed to be another branch of the giant race, said to be far more powerful than even the mountain giants themselves, dwarfing them in both size and strength. However, they are also believed to be a complete rumor, and most of the scientific, if we want to call them that, journalists of the world in the collective do not regard them as real creatures, but more as a misdiagnosed or misstudied skeletal remains of a mountain giant that was just quite large. Thus, not much is known about them overall, and as you kind of think about it, nothing kind of comes to mind, as you haven't seen a creature that even fits close to a description like that. You guess, based on what James is saying, it's probably some sort of demon that was just known for its size, is the best guess at this point.
That's weird.
But, I'll walk over to Syndra and go, those 3 have Mountain Giant bloodline, and that one has a strange arcane effect on them.
I just look at the strange one that he gives. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
He's got, as you look at him, he's got a slightly shaved head with a very short cut mohawk, a bit of some stubble on his chin, a couple piercings. He looks like your average peasant raider from the Frost Giant lands. I mean, he could not be more nondescript.
I shrug.
With the excuse that the 3 are going to grow very large, I'm going to move further away from the ship with these 4.
Okay.
And then I'll do the vials, and the weird effect will be last.
Okay. As go ahead.
My only worry is the ones with the Mountain Giant. Are they going to be able to fit on the ship?
That is a good question.
No, not at all. Because they are, I think, the largest possible size as mountain giants.
Mm-hmm. As they begin to drink the vials, immediately their skin kind of graying as it does. They immediately increase to a size, or the next size up, which I think from huge is colossal. No, it's gargantuan.
Gargantuan.
As all 3 of them become gargantuan in size almost immediately. As they start growing in height, the 4th one, as you kind of hand him a vial, as he drinks it, his eyes kind of glimmer, and kind of looks over at you lot, and you see a flash of purple in them, and then the body going limp as it drops to the ground and seems to be immediately dead.
Fucking died.
Can I guys check him over to see why he died?
Yeah, give me a heal check.
Because
If
that was like a death. I'm terrified. It's a nat 20.
Another
31.
As you look it over, go ahead. Sorry.
I said my first one, 2 for the party.
That's fair. As you look it over, it seems that as the body's been dead for a while, as you kind of poke at it and looking into the teeth, noticing the rotting mouth, the teeth kind of all slightly grind together, as if the corpse almost seemed to have its mouth shut constantly by force. The creature, seemingly, as you look in the eyes, yes, maybe a few months this creature's been dead. It's hard to get a rough look of it, but what you realize immediately is the body has been being puppeted this entire time. It seems that this potion just canceled the spell effect on the individual body.
I think back, what city would we have been in, roughly, when the body died?
Based on that, somewhere around the Genasi lands would be, or around Nighton would have been the 2... Oh, no, sorry, the Genasi or the Stone Giant lands would be the 2 most plausible points, given how long the corpse has been dead.
I'll send the 3 back and ask them to send me James.
They seem to nod excitingly as they jog off, kind of thumping onto the ground as you feel the ground shake. As they kind of move the trees, bending them out of their way, coming over to get James' attention. James, as you see the 3 gargantuan giants rushing over
towards
you.
We might have to be here for a day or 2. I'm gonna have to make something.
They seem to come running up towards James and Roman as the rest of the crew kind of reboards after finishing their vials, and as the third one kind of looks over at James and goes, "Sir James," as he shouts down at
Yes?
you. I have been
You can talk
told
normally.
by
I should
the.
be able to hear you. You're loud.
Oh, sorry. I thought you couldn't hear me down there. My apologies, Sir James. Lady Syndra has asked for you and the gifted Sir Roloman to go join her.
Oh, okay.
All right. I think you're a bit too big for the ship now, guys.
We can carry the ship, though, sir.
That's an idea.
That is an idea. I will make something so you can board the ship during the trip back, okay?
They nod, kind of like sitting down in the snow around the ship.
Would you help all the others get on the ship?
They kind of nod and they start kind of assisting with it by picking up a few who do not enjoy being manhandled as they are like toys.
So they're just gargantuan frost giants now.
Basically, yes. Very thick hides.
Big boys.
Oh
Alright,
my
let's
god.
see what
As
Syndra-
I walk to go meet up with Syndra.
Yeah. As you Roloman and James kind of heading down, as you see Cinder kind of looking at a corpse that's just kind of laying limp on itself. As you get closer.
That died.
Oh, one did die. Fuck.
No, no one died today.
I don't like that phrasing.
He's been dead for 3 months, roughly.
Oh.
We've had a puppeted undead on the ship for months.
We have 86 frost giants left, everybody.
James just clicks that off in his head as he nips it
He
quietly.
just pulls out a fucking notebook
This-
and it like just crosses out a name.
Oh.
He either died in the Genasi lands or in the Stone Giant lands. And seeing as how there were necromancers noted in the area in the Stone Giant lands, I think I have my bet.
That's weird.
So someone's been watching us through the eyes of an undead for roughly 3-4 months.
Yeah, either of you have sort of like undead detection spells we can have to use like routinely now, so this doesn't happen
Just
again.
Druid
I
get
can
sick.
technically,
I know
from
Cam
this
gets
undead,
it.
can I tell what CR this undead would have been?
Yes. This would have been CR7.
Oh.
You'd guesstimate, James, based on your clerical understanding without a roll, that the reason why this would be such a high-class undead, it's not due to this thing being strong, it's an undetection creature, as you can kind of... You're not familiar enough with undead off the top of your head. If you want to roll for me, you can roll a knowledge religion, but...
Sure.
Just kind of looking at the creature, you recognize that this creature is definitely designed to be undetectable. It's almost like a homunculus or a chimera that's been put together.
So Cameron
17.
gets to take undead, I don't.
Yeah, so 17, you would recognize this as exactly that. This is called an infiltrator. This is a creature or a specialized type of undead that is usually designed from a zombie or skeleton that is basically boosted by a necromancer to infiltrate places. They are highly intelligent when it comes to answering questions, but they're incapable of doing anything but following orders. So in a sense, you can walk up, talk to it like a normal person, but if like the room was on fire, they'd just stand there, and unless you told them to run, and they
How
wouldn't
many
do
hit
anything.
dice would a CR7?
Roughly about 7 hit dice. Yeah.
Okay.
What the fuck is going on? There's a big ass fire truck. Oh, and a SWAT van. Oh, that's cool. God damn this.
Give me. Well, then tomorrow morning I can go through the ship and detect them. It won't be easy, but
Well, the good news is we can just do a medical checkup. I mean, if they were all from the same area, this body was already rotting, so they'll all show signs of rot somewhere in the body.
And also will be pretty believable since we wanted to make sure there's no more infections. Since
We also know it's not one of the frost giants because they would have also fallen over and died, like this one.
Okay.
all right. Syndra, you're taking the catfish then.
Okay.
I think
I'm
Cinder's
pretty sure I
gonna
can
have
speak his language.
I can't, and he scares me as they threaten to have him eat me.
What?
About to have the most blunt. I'm gonna walk into this catfish and be like, "So you're not dead, right?" And Aquin.
Have everyone do a medical exam or whatever, and you can see if they're rotted or not. And under the guise of, looks like
By
this
the
is-
way, I may have to take some time to make a reduce item for those three.
Okay. Just put the medical exam under the guise of, "Hey, we just gave an experimental thing to all the people. We want to make sure no one around them is affected."
All right, we can do that on the trip back too.
Let's do it now. I don't want any stowaways of undead on the ship any longer than they need to be.
All right, we can go back and do that then. Well, we know the three that had mountain giant bloodlines are definitely lively. As I look back and can see them over the fucking trees.
Yeah, they're just sitting on the hill around it, kind of looking out into the vast open country.
We have the best guard at this point.
Man, you asked for muscle a while ago. You got it.
Yeah.
I
The
can
muscle's
now
too big.
lift the keep.
Yeah,
Who
it's
would
true.
like to try me?
As you kind of head back towards the ship, kind of climbing up on board, the rest of the giants all down back below deck as you lot kind of head up. Are you guys going to just split up amongst the crew, or is the plan to try and gather the rest of the members who weren't the frost giants?
Who weren't sick frost giants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody, not just frost giants.
We'll gather everybody and do just a general medical checkup.
Okay. Yeah, give me a sense motive and a heal check. I don't care who, it's just someone has to be.
I will assist. Because I think mine is lower than yours, Syndra.
Rumby, are you good at sense motive?
I have a +8.
I have a
You're
+8.
You're slightly better, so I'll do the heal field with sense motive.
Okay.
I will assist in both, I guess, because
You can assist in
Decent.
one.
I'll assist in
No,
the sense
I
motive.
rolled-
Okay.
I rolled good. Help them. 27.
Okay, 27.
So add a 7 to yours, Grumpy.
22,
Nice.
29. All right. Between the two, Syndra and Rollman, as you go through the rest of the crew, kind of checking them, investigating wounds. Thankfully, there isn't another member that seems to be affected by the disease, nor do they seem to be undead. The catfish, it does grumble and seems to kind of look at Syndra and kind of in Aquin, the most simplest of form, say, "No, I'm not undead, and yes, I will eat James if he ever is caught sleeping next to me."
I nodded, standing because
It's not he hates James. It's, hey, James is smaller than me. This is normal.
No, he's small and he's a catfish. It's nature.
Yeah, this is what they do. This is why he hasn't eaten any of the giants.
I'll just nod. I'll nod in understanding. I get it.
Hammer and Forge, thankfully, are not. And thankfully, it seems that the rest of the crew seems to be completely fine. No other undead amongst them. However, Glitter Rock, you do find out, is hiding a fact that he does have a bloodline. As you do catch Rolliman, he is vampiric. As you catch a moment, for just a second, he seems to, in his flustering as the question is brought up, his fangs seem to show, and that doesn't look normal.
I'm going to blink.
Oh, hey. I've met one of those before. Not saying this in character, but I've met one of those before.
We all have.
Well, I talked to him
No, if you're thinking of Crump Senior, he does not have a bloodline. He is technically a vampire.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. So,
Okay. I mean, I don't really care.
neither do I really. As long as he's not biting people, I don't really care.
No,
I
fair
mean, it's
enough.
good that he's not going to be drinking this water.
Yeah.
I'm very what it would do to him. I really am.
No,
Make it more vampire.
I'm not doing it. I'm just saying I'm interested.
we do not need a vampire awakening on the fucking ship.
I heavily disagree.
Right.
You know what? It's an emergency. You can give him vial and tell him that if it's a last resort, drink it.
I will say, he looks to have already awoken to his bloodline, as he's already got the features of it when he's not focusing. So, yes, basically, in a sense, he's already a vampire.
As long as he doesn't, plan to repeat it.
I will
The
say,
winning crew.
Syndra, as you realize, you wondered why some of the some of the sky bison down below had bite marks on their thighs.
I was gonna ask, what the hell is even thing?
Yeah, you really.
I mean, he hasn't been killing them, so I can't complain.
But they all have AIDS now.
Well,
No.
suddenly Cinder doesn't want to try to eat that meat, because you don't know if it's
Well,
infected.
luckily
but the milk seems to be fine, thankfully, as the men haven't turned in the slightest. So.
I am still disease even. I am the only one on the ship that can eat weird shit and be fine.
That's true. That's true. But as you kind of, after going through questioning, not finding any other undead and no other marks amongst the men, seemingly, and none of them seemingly having anything to hide, other than a few of them that you catch have been hiding food from some of the rare desserts that the catfish has been stowing away when he has his wealth, and that has not gone over well amongst the crew. So beyond that.
I give them all the stink eye, and they're definitely going to get bad rotations for a little bit.
Yeah, they're also probably not going to get the best meals from the catfish going forward for a little while until that debt's paid back. But otherwise, nothing else amongst the crew, thankfully, seems to be a problem. And neither are any of the animals, as James, I imagine, would be doing a quick ask for a check over of all of them as well.
Yeah, along with how many cloud bison do we have?
You have two.
Or cyclone tail
I think
bison?
it was only the two.
We only had two, but it was a breeding pair, and they've kind of just been left
Uh-huh.
do that.
Yes.
Hey, Cameron, with your level up, do you have third level spells now or no?
No.
Damn.
Damn.
I was gonna speak with Deb first. I wanted to speak with Deb the fucking Dead for months.
But as you lot kind of begin to settle into figuring out what you're going to do, beginning to kind of plan as James realizing he has to put something together for the three mountain giants or do something, we'll cut from here as the party begins to plan. We'll take about, we'll say, 2 weeks of downtime as James works on this, and then I assume you lot will be heading back to Rune's Hold. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
Would that be? I'm
Unless
just
they're
curious.
serious about carrying us back, and can we make it? If they carry the ship back, can they make it in the 2 weeks?
Oh, they can.
Jesus
If they walk it, it'll take a month. Even at their size, like it's not gonna be fast.
Don't make them carry the ship.
They volunteered, but no.
Okay.
I'll make the item first.
All right. So with that, we thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and join us next time for the Ironheart Merchant Company back in Rune's Hold, where hopefully nothing has gone wrong. But knowing James's luck, the world has exploded, and it's all his fault. Thank you all, and we'll see you next time.